Who's breathing into their mic?
Somebody's got it like right under the nose.
Sorry, it might have been me laughing.
Oh, all right.
There it is.
Yep, that's it.
Somebody's doing it.
Is that
Stop
better?
laughing.
Stop enjoying yourself.
Don't
What
have
do you think
fun.
This is some kind of game.
Jared, look me in the eye when you say that.
No.
No camera today?
Wait, is my camera not on?
It
Oh,
is
whoops.
not.
I was making a pun.
I liked it.
I got it. I'm sitting in
Alright.
the sun, so you wouldn't be able to see me anyways.
So
Also,
I don't...
because half of you will fall asleep at the end. Who can play Siege tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I could be free for some Siege.
Because it's
depending what-
free, so none of you have any excuse.
I got
Well,
it
even
downloaded.
without it being free,
I could come up with plenty of excuses if that's my job.
right? Like I'm a professional excuse maker. Have you met me?
But I do have my Friday night Zoom with the old D&D group, so.
Tell
Valid.
them I say hi.
I'm gonna be at the protests.
Valid.
I will be around most likely to play. Like I said, depending on what time, because I have a business meeting tomorrow for logos to be designed. So
All right.
logos
Okay, I'm gonna-
and mini
Wow.
modes and
I will message
emojis
you.
and all that. Sounds good.
All right. Oh man, so it has been 17 days since we last played, so I
That's it,
cannot
Rebel.
think of a more appropriate way to start out by asking if anyone would like to try and recap the events from last session.
I gotta see what notes I wrote.
I have.
Cool, if you want me to do it. I watched most of the stream.
Let's see. So we got to town.
I
Went
have
through a
lot of
checkpoint.
Notes.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
We went through a checkpoint where we were all screened for having like. They didn't seem to care about the minor magic items, and we didn't have any holy hand grenades, so we seemed to pass through pretty simply. They're definitely worried about something. It may or may not be related to the giants. I don't recall the details.
They were looking for a pair of bandits, one of which was Dragonborn.
Yes. That sounds like your sort of detail. Then we went to the place on the note that Jerk had to meet up with Sparklegem, and she was dead, but also not.
I mean, that's a good way to describe it. She kind of died
Which
and
I
kind of.
haven't had time to do a full diagnosis, and I'm not sure I'll get permission to. But it
I
sounds
like that you're going to ask permission, though. That's very good. of you.
Right?
Consent is
Consent's
important.
well, at
good.
least at first. Well, but it
At
sounds.
first.
Sexy.
But Jerk says that it's her, and he would know. But of course, he's also once told me this is Sparklegem while pointing to a sack. So, what do I know?
It was true then.
It's true then, it's true now.
Yes, that's true.
Beautiful.
And also,
It was the Drunken Lobster was the name of that bar.
because there was a lobster, and people were drinking inside of it.
Oh,
Kind of. Outside
because
there
they
is the
put
shell
their
of a giant
drink.
lobster monster, and they shoved bottles into its maw and its claws.
Because
Yep.
the Howling Wizard apparently was already taken in a different district, because that's a much more accurate name for where we were.
All right.
Because wizards were howling all the apparently every night.
Over in the
That
all right,
was
yeah,
a
that was when you
different
guys
bar.
left and went over to the Fallen Tower. Yeah, so you guys met Sparklegem and the Drunken Lobster, and then you guys went through the Protector's Enclave, the fancy part of the city, to cross the bridges and then make your way over to the Tower District and the Fallen Tower, which was like Screaming Ghost Town. It's creepy ghosts, like you're
That
saying.
was-
There
And
we met Chance.
there was not sure I have this right in my head. A tabaxi that Taliesin knew was
Yep.
there.
That's Chance.
Mhm.
We kind of parted ways with Azita and the
Novak?
other one.
Jesus.
The other one.
It was
The big-
Chance the Rapper.
We also
But-
met Mort, who's a town courier, and he's a big fan of the Zenrum
Town coroner. Very
Okay.
different jobs.
You said,
It says coroner. I misread it. I'm sorry. I'm very,
And-
very tired.
and so we got confirmed that even with Aziva and Novak gone, Jerk's tattoo makes him a full member
Yeah.
and access to all of the shady contacts he could ever need.
Shady.
I don't. Yes, you are.
I'm shady.
on my scale.
Zenturium is not shady.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Like,
And so
they're
that left
more like
us here in this different tavern from the first tavern with what is now our group of investigators.
Every
was-
single time somebody says the Zentarim are shady, Jared counters with they're just mercenaries. Every
do, every time.
single
That-
time.
Yeah.
You
To
guys,
me-
you guys, they're mercenaries.
I just
There's-
don't. Maybe to
counts.
Godwald they are.
Yeah.
Maybe to Godwald
Okay.
everything that's not like a church is shady, right?
Yeah.
And that
I
could
mean-
be.
Well,
There's a lot of people I know who feel that way.
He said, I mean, he did say, like, to
I
my
started
scale.
out using the phrase from Welcome to Night Vale of a vague yet menacing agency.
I was also offered membership into the Zentrum, but I did not
Yeah.
accept it.
For
Are
my
you-
money,
are you-
for my money, I would take the word of a merc over the word of a clergyman. Just saying.
Man, I
I
can't
would-
wait for you
I-
guys to go to the Dragon's Temple.
And wait, I forget. Is Taliesin a full harper?
I'm a Harper, yeah.
Yeah, the only true shady company any of us are involved with is Sparklegem and Jerk's Hand of Yardtar business. That's the only true shady business that occurs.
Which I may question you about today.
Yeah, you ask them
You
all
could-
about it.
You're more than welcome to ask questions if we confirm or deny things. Is up to us, I guess.
That's how conversations work.
We'll find
So
out
you
what
guys,
happens.
you guys did a pretty good job there. I would say that's. I mean, it's most of it. Godwald, I would give you inspiration on your character's sheet, but you already have it. So you can continue using that from the last time. Jerk butted some comments in there too. So you know what, buddy, I'm gonna throw it on your sheet as well. Lady Luck, the goddess Demora, is with you today. And man, I just kind of want to it's been 17 days. It's been 17
Inspiration
days,
for
party.
everyone.
Inspiration is for everyone. Today,
shit.
everybody gets free reroll.
And
So I just clicked them all on all your sheets. You should be able to refresh now and have everybody see it. But yeah, no, that's a pretty good description. You guys got to the gate. Things were much more kind of on lockdown than you're used to seeing it. Like maybe this kind of thing happens occasionally, but it's pretty rare. They interrogated pretty much everybody as they came through, questioned everybody, I should say, as they came through, and searched the carts. You guys then went into the Drunken Lobster. There was one person you met there. Wonder its name.
The owner, I forget his name.
Yeah, the owner of the Drunken Lobster is Krazora, who is a half orc.
Good dude, that
I would-
Krizora.
I would note that as some of the, and actually, let me bring you guys over to the image of the city, as I have you there. Let's bring you here. One thing you would note about that I didn't really emphasize much, but I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background in the city is that Krazoa, as a half orc, is a bit of the kind of the odd man out in here. You might see a few more half orcs in the Chasm district. You may see some of them in the Tower district occasionally, but the Tower district is where the orcs had 40 or so years ago invaded from the northeast. So the orcs actually lived there for a period of time. So orcs in the city of Neverwinter kind of have a orcs in general aren't liked. Half orcs are sort of a tolerated people, let's say. So as you would have traveled through the Protector's Enclave, the fanciest part of town, you probably would have noticed the stark differences in some of the class there. It's a very fancy place. Again, back to the Blue Lake District is pretty much your merchant town. where you find a lot of the goods that have come in through the port, and then in the Tower District is probably your like middle class sort of kind of town. There's still some destruction from when the Mount Houtna exploded, but a lot of it in the last 50 years, or 40 years or so, has been rebuilt. Unlike the Chasm District. So it's kind of like the differences as you travel between the 4 districts that are here. Then you guys, you cross the bridges. There are these epic bridges and descriptions, and if I would have had some time to give it to you, but each is described as the different kind of creature that it's named after. So there's the Wyvern Bridge, there's the Sleeping Dragon, the Winged Wyvern, and the Dolphin Bridge. So there's these like ornate bridges that lead to Castle Never, which residents of Neverwinter would know is a kind of actually like off place. It's not off limits. Thank you. Off limits. And it's no longer where the seat of power sits or the family sits. So it's kind of like almost a abandoned castle in a way. And you guys walked through then the Blue Lake District and through some of the Marstown, but you moved quickly. So some of those nicer houses falling down into smaller homes and newer smaller homes as you reach the Tower District, where you found that bar, which is the top half of a tower which had landed on the ground, then converted into this space, and you could then see at the angle that this thing is at, where the tavern is in, upwards to where the rest of the tower had been, and you actually then can witness ghosts kind of falling periodically at night, and sort of this spectral, as you guys described it, like a quiet, creepy fireworks scene that kind of happens every night around 8 o'clock. And so as you all are there in the Tower District, and at the Fallen Tower, the ghosts have just done their session of ring out. There's a kind of a round of applause from a couple of people, the kind of the looky-loos and some out-of-towners who had come here just for this occasion. And at this point, the bar starts dwindling down. The crowd starts going out. And I believe you guys said you were going to be going somewhere from here.
I think we're gonna head to the rumored hearth.
Yeah.
Right, and you had asked about that in the last time. You had gotten it kind of a location.
Yeah, I'd gotten a location of it. It was actually marked on the map. So I think, but I don't know how long it's going to take to get over there. What time of day is it?
It's night now. It's about
Okay.
8 p.m. 8 p.m. is about when the ghost show goes off.
Okay.
So that was the kind of like people were at the tavern for the show.
We
Kinda
are
dwindling out
headed
now.
to an inn, so we'll probably end up staying there, I'm guessing. I did hear a rumor that the tea guy named a tea after Jerk, so we're gonna have to check out the market in the morning.
Did you hear this at the rumored Hearth Inn?
No,
You should have waited till you got to the rumored hearth Inn to do that.
I heard
rumor.
it through the grapevine.
Is that another inn?
Hear the Fallen Tower words of an incredible new tea caught the ears of the local populace.
I mean, I guess we would be lightweight famous in like the local area of Phandalin.
You actually would, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good chance that someone may know your names if
We met
announced them.
him in Tribor, and we also did
Okay.
something that would make us famous in Tribor, so
Yeah.
that would totally make sense. Are you as Jerk saying this, or are you just telling us this?
Jerk is saying that.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
I wonder if...
Yeah.
Do you think it would be all the way out here?
I think so. He's a traveling merchant. They've traveled further than this.
I'm hoping that like T Guy is just like a level 20 wizard who can just like teleport to different like metropolises and sell his
With
tea.
all of his stuff, just
Yeah, he just has like a
Yeah.
bag, like
He's the
bag
melon-
of holding.
He's the melon cart guy and from Last Airbender. He's just like always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, why I came to Neverwinter and it's getting
Am I
attacked by
Cabbage's
dragons.
guy?
What the fuck? The cabbages guy. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
it. Cabbage cart. Thank you.
My cabbages.
Yeah, so you guys can spend some time walking over there. There are later in the day there aren't as many, but there are carts going about, kind of working like taxis, kind of easily identifiable by the marking on the side, a little checkerboard pattern.
So yeah, we're walking right now.
Yeah, we're walking at double speed though. It takes us half as long to get places because I'm with you.
Okay.
So we're
Um,
almost as fast as a cart.
yeah, Jerk's able to like take you the party walking back. So how many are you? There's the six, the five of you, right? You've got Jerk, Taliesin, Sparklegem, Godwald, and Chance. And Jerk is like leading you through people's backyards, like over fences. Like there's a hole in this, like the side of this warehouse, and you guys like walking through it. But you're basically taking what equivalents to much closer to a straight line to go straight to where you need to be. You catch a couple glances walking at your pace. Maybe your sneakier guys don't, but some metal. But you don't really go anywhere. It seems like too inappropriate or anything. As you do travel through, though, Jerk, as you're leaving the Tower District, you find your way. Got it zoomed out so I could see everything. Jerk, you find your way past, and you're traveling past a familiar sight. It's the upper half of a tower floating by, and Jerk's able to point out the Shard of Night.
I tell everybody, watch out for that thing. Don't stand in its shadow. It ate my shadow. That's why I don't have one.
Would I know if that's true or not?
You can roll insight to see if he's telling the truth.
That this thing ate his shadow? Like, if I know he's a tiefling and I know that I don't know if I know that variants of tieflings would maybe
may or may
not
not have a shadow. Yeah.
Oh, shit, no.
Hey, man.
I
I
mean,
would say,
that's
does
like
it jerk
8.
out to make a deception
You're not sure
check?
if it's a possible thing or not, but
No, man. I'm telling you that tower's a jerk.
Godwald, real quick, throw me a intelligence check. See if you know this piece of local lore.
Anybody with
Can I add history?
Yeah. History of this city, Neverwinter. Yeah. Total. Sorry.
14.
Thank you. All right. But as you're kind of questioning it, and you're like, that doesn't sound right. A tower's shadow that eats other people's shadows. Godwald pipes up and he lets you know, like, yeah, actually, it's kind of a like one of the mysterious things that happens here in the Tower District. People can walk under the tower and they lose their shadow for an hour or so.
Oh, okay. I like skirt around the edge of it. Try to stay out of it.
Just kind of pointing out, it's a really interesting little piece. It's this like chunk of a tower that's just kind of floating in the sky there. The bottom had been knocked out from underneath it.
Yeah, it just sort of happens. There's never seemed to be any other major ill effects, and it just seems to come back either from themselves or it gets released. It's kind of hard to track.
It ate mine for good.
That's kind of odd for this situation. It's not what normally happens to people. Yeah, so you guys are able to, with decent time, make it over to the rumored Hearth Inn. I'm not going to totally calculate it, but the sun's already been set, so it's night as you approach. Once you reach the rumored Hearth Inn, you see the building has a sign out front, so it's not entirely difficult to find, but it's not like a giant sign drawing a lot of attention. In general, the rumored Hearth is an unassuming inn located near the docks of Neverwinter Harbor. The building is made of mostly wood with a large stone chimney that seems to be in the center of the building. The front doors lead below street level into a cooled entryway. Actually, you notice that as much as it's never winter in the city, and though winter season has ended, it's still a little chilly outside, and it seems to be a little chillier as you go down the stairs into this room. This cooled entryway, you see a lobby filled with ferns and other plants that seem to absorb much of the sound in the building, with a front desk that has a bell on the counter. Separating this area are glass doors that seem to lead into another room.
So I know that I am searching for a contact here named Aldar Robbins, and I don't know who that is, but I want to look around to see if I notice anything that would maybe point me in the direction of another Harper or anything like a symbol or anything.
Like
Okay.
if Harpers have a harp on them, would someone named Robbins have a Robin on them? Is this like Jack Sparrow?
Maybe.
He might have a
Go ahead
harp.
and roll. Go ahead and roll me perception.
Okay. Plus 6. 22.
You don't notice any symbols as you kind of like look around. This room is really filled with a lot of different like kinds of ferns and plant life. And so that's like the majority of like on the walls are like different like flower beds. And as you're kind of looking around, that kind of covers the walls till it gets to these glass doors. There's more ferns, and then there's this sort of cutout enclave with the desk and the ringing bell sitting on top of it. Though you don't see any harps, you do notice the subtle sound of harp music coming from the other room.
Okay. Okay, I guess I would probably take lead since I'm the one who's looking for somebody here and walk up to ring the bell.
Okay. Yeah. As you ring the bell, everyone else kind of standing in the room looking around, Taliesin moves forward, rings the bell, and in a few moments, a pleasant half-elf woman walks out, and she comes out. She goes, "Oh, hello. Welcome to the Rumored Hearth. How can I help you today? Do you have a reservation?"
I don't. I'm actually looking for a friend, and I was hoping that you had some vacancy for mine. And I want to pull out my Harper badge from under the folds of my scarf.
She goes, "Oh, I see. And will there be?" And she kind of goes and counts. He knows that she's dressed kind of professionally, just kind of working there. She goes and counts. She goes, "Okay, that'll be great. Do you happen to see? So, do you need 5 rooms? And do you know the name of the individual you're looking for?"
Uh, looking for a Robbins and
The
Albert.
owner of the inn?
Yes, precisely. Aldar?
Yes, yes. He is here today. I can definitely let him know that you're looking for you. But he is often found in our common room. If you would all be staying for the evening, I can give you a key to the door that you see here and right, which will open that door and then to each of your rooms, and you might be able to find him there.
Sorry, I'm trying to role play, but I'm trying to remember somebody's name.
Sorry, I'll just say Aldar because that's what I think of it as.
Aldar?
That's who you're looking for, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh,
I
you're thinking somebody else.
I was trying to pull up. Do we want 5 rooms?
As chance, I'm fine with bunking with somebody. Maybe even Tally to catch back up later.
Sure. I 4 rooms, I suppose. I would turn to the other, to the rest of them, kind of hands in the air, like 4 rooms or.
She tells you about some of the options. There's a single bedroom, like like small single bed meant for one person, and then there's like a twin bed. Then there's rooms with full, and there's rooms with a queen.
Do you have any rooms that would accommodate all of us?
Just like, well, actually, indeed, I do. The master suite has 4 rooms, and the living area converts into a sleeping area.
How much would that be?
The master suite is 10 gold a night.
I can cover that.
I could throw in a
She's
couple.
like, she goes, it comes with
Sparkle
room
Gem will
service.
just throw 2.
You'll find a chime in the room. If you ring, a staff member will come straight to the room for you and find you whatever you need within their power.
Yeah, I gladly would take that, and I would pull out 10 gold and set it on the counter for them. Actually, I'll do 11 and just as a tip. I very much appreciate your hospitality. If you do see Aldar before, let him know that Darathra had asked me to speak with him.
I certainly will. And you feel very confident that she's memorized everything you just said. She seems very on point. She goes, all right. And she kind of starts moving through. She collects the coins, sliding the last one over and saying, thank you very much, sir. Seems to put the gold away underneath the counter and then pull back out. And she goes, slides away. She's like, I'll just need you to sign this, saying you're responsible for any damages in the room and any of the fees incurred from the room service.
Sure.
Basically, it's just like, I'm not going to break the room if you glance over it. And
yeah.
I promise not to have a party.
Since this is my first encounter with anybody outside of Darathra, and I really trust this, but I do want to just do insight real quick just to make sure that
Okay.
Yeah, from my understanding, there's some sort of subterfuge going on with the seat of power here, and if they've gotten here too, I'd want to make sure. So,
all right.
And I rolled a 9, so
She seems to be. Oh, whoops. She seems to be very straightforward. Whether or not you could tell, you can't seem to infer anything else off of it. She seems to just be doing her job and very objectively.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot to glean off of her.
I wasn't super suspicious, anyways. I just kind of, just wanted to double check. So I will sign that.
Yeah, so you sign the paper. She said, thank you very much. She folds it up, puts it away. She goes, all right. She comes out. She goes, you're going to need 5 keys. She brings 1 key up on the center of the table, lays her hand over it, taps it 5 times, and there are now 5 copies of the key.
Nice.
She goes and, pushes them out on the desk in front of you. She's like, 1 for each of the guests. She's like, these keys will work for the next 24 hours, which is when we like you to check out or keep your room for the evening.
All right. Thank you so much.
And she goes, and I just wanted to let you know, sir, Mr. Wait, what's your last name? Do you have a last name?
Rosewood.
Rosewood? Just let you know, Mr. Rosewood, that Mr.
Don't
Robbins
laugh, Godwall.
That Mr. Robbins
I never told any of you guys.
Just want to let you know, Mr. Rosewood, that Mr. Robbins is indeed in the common area. You can find him wearing a white blazer. He's easy to find.
Thank you so much.
And she just gestures towards the two glass doors.
All right. I guess I would head to the room to lead everyone there, and we can unpack what we need to. And as we, I'll take off my adventuring pack and set down my staff and everything like that, and be like, well, I'm heading to the common room.
Okay, yeah. So you guys go up to the room. Sounds like that's what everybody else is doing. I haven't heard much else, I'm assuming.
No one has objected.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally go there.
you guys go straight up. It is the master suite. As you realize, you kind of stepped down into the room. You guys have gone down like a floor. So the building that looked like it was 2 stories tall, you have to go up 3 flights of stairs to get to the top floor where your room is located. And then there's just like kind of a hallway with your door at the end of it, kind of forming the largest room in the building.
Fancy.
It is pretty fancy. It's pretty nice. Sheets on a bed, beds made of like down and other materials rather than stuffed with hay, scratchy corners and basements. This is fairly nice things that you have there. Is anybody else going with Taliesin down to the common room? Or are you guys turning in for the night?
I can head down with him if he doesn't mind. If it's official business, I can stay back at the room, whatever he prefers.
You can come with me. We're generally we're not as secretive as some others. Some other organizations, it's more just I have information to give him, and I'm hoping he has information to give me.
I dig it. I might be able to help out here too if I can remember some things I was told. So I'll go with you.
Sure.
Chance is gonna be like, he's gonna run in the room and jump on the couch and raise his hand like, "Hey, are you guys cool if I order some food though?"
Yeah, it comes with room service. Order whatever you want.
We will have to pay for it when we leave, though.
I think it comes included in the cost, is from what I understood.
I think meals were included in the cost, but not room service.
I was
Yeah,
told
we'll
room
come that
service.
later.
Room service is available to you. If there are things that are within reason, like getting food and some other stuff, yeah, the meals were included. But if you wanted them to like run out and go buy you knives or something, you're gonna have to pay for the knives and their time.
Yeah. So yeah, you can order food. It's included.
Sweet.
See if you can squeeze a few ales out of them.
I'm down for a beer.
I won't be long.
All right, so Chance is staying up in the room, ordering some room service in.
At the thought of free booze, Sparklegem will stay up in the room to negotiate.
Aren't you
I've
still
had an
drunk
exciting
already?
enough. I think I've had enough excitement for
Am
one
I?
day.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I'll stay here to keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Actually, since you're not you're alive, can you get drunk?
Yeah, I've been drunk this entire time, stumbling around last time at the last place we were. I don't know how many hours we spent there or how much I sobered up.
Drank a bottle of wine. She was drunk. She was noticeably intoxicated.
Okay.
I did a horrible constitution check.
Do you not think she's alive? I totally want you to do like a perception check for me.
Well, she's alive now, but she's not the same. She's something else.
Okay.
And she was dead.
I mean, technically, my body's still very much dead.
And this. How did you say this isn't that?
Someone else's body. It was just given to me as a gift.
Okay. Well, I'm leaving the room. So.
All right. So Taliesin goes downstairs. Jerk goes with him. Godwald, Sparklegem, and Chance all stay upstairs and order room service.
Mhm.
There's a little chime that was next to the door that she describes, and it's just like a little pull handle, and you can bling on it as quietly or as loudly as you like. And within a short period of time, someone comes up to the door to ask what you want and what you need. While you think of all of the things that you want or need in the meantime, we'll go downstairs with Taliesin and Jerk, who head into the common room. So as you had like basically initially entered through the first set of like opening glass doors, it kind of came to a hallway that then led to a set of stairs, and then another set of glass doors that opened up into a common room. You guys just kind of went up the stairs, up into the 3rd floor, or the 2nd floor, depending on how you look at it, and have come back downstairs into this common room. The common room is an area with a bunch of low-seated kind of recliners that sit around small individual tables. Patrons in the hotel are sitting around kind of enjoying a drink, smoking a pipe. You notice that the smoke is kind of being drawn out through a vent in the wall through some means that isn't clear, so that it's not like smoky and hazy except for where they are. And these tables kind of the people are seated sort of spaced far from one another, but there's no real like path through the chairs. The room is just kind of filled with them and these small low tables. At one far end is a giant hearth with a fire burning. And you notice that the temperature in this room, with how chilly it was when you stepped out into the initial area, and then with the fire burning in this room, kind of sets it at this perfect 72 degrees. Like
Nice.
this very nice temperature in the room that's just very comfortable to be there, to sit in. Behind a curtain, there's a musician playing a harp. And you can kind of make out the figure of this person and the harp that they're playing, but that harp music fills the room. Where's my harp music?
Pretty classy.
It is a pretty classy place, and I have harp music for it, and I'm gonna give you the wrong harp music because I added a bunch of music. No. Dang it. I'm gonna find it. Hold on.
That was peanut.
My life depends on it. The most important task that I will do all day.
I can't remember my friend from Phandalin.
Darren.
Darren.
Damn it. It's gone. I messed up the page earlier, but
I believe in you. Would you quit growling?
Nope. Can't find it. Fuck my life. Alright, we're just gonna go with this for the time being.
Alright, I'm down with it.
Alright, but yeah, so you enter this room. If you guys have ever been to a cigar shop and seen the space where it is, with all these low reclining, big, comfortable chairs and tables, ashtrays and drinks. People are having drinks. They're relaxing as much as they can at the end of the day here. Like I said, you notice some of these patrons, but one in particular sitting at a chair near the hearth is wearing a white blazer. On it, a very familiar pin.
All right. I want to. Sorry. I started laughing and then choked. I want to see if I can I do a perception check to see if I can find a way to smoothly navigate through all of these chairs without being clumsy and bumping into them?
Man, did you know I was gonna do that? Like, did we talk about it one day when I was like, no? Because yeah.
There's a page in the DMG of that sort of thing.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you want to try and find your path? What are you trying to do?
I'm essentially trying to see if there's a way where I can just kind of like gracefully, like, and naturally, like, turn side to side and kind of like flip through them without like being awkward or bumping into things.
Okay, so you're just gonna try and perceive a path that has like the widest path? Or are you looking for a way to like for you to maneuver? Because I might say if you're just gonna go do the maneuvering, we'll call it depending on how you describe it, like performance and athletics or something. So, are you just looking now? You want to do a perception check?
I was trying to do a perception check to see if I could determine the best route.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on. All right. 13.
Looking for a route, it looks difficult. You see where there's some paths that kind of shape in like an S that kind of move through it, but it's very elongated and around the room. But it would involve you. That would be like the path of least resistance.
Okay. I have an idea.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to be mysterious, alright?
Okay.
Shit. Alright, wait, hang on, I gotta look at something.
Alright. Jerk, you're faced with the same conundrum. You know, you heard the bit about the Mr. Robbins is wearing a white blazer. You've seen him there and you're seeing this room. Look around. Are you gonna try and think of anything yourself?
Really quick.
Oh, go ahead.
How far away is he from me?
Oh, let's see. The width of the room is probably easily like 60 feet wide and a good, 80 feet, 100 feet deep.
Oh, geez, so he's like pretty far.
He's off far to the side.
Okay, I was gonna say I could turn into a spider and like just slip through, but I would only have like 20 feet of movement.
It would just take you longer.
It would just take a long time.
Yeah, you totally do it though.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll turn into a spider, and I want to try to. What I would like to do is try to sneak up, like just out of sight of him, like just like maybe backing off to like the right or left or wherever there's some space, and then like transform back in and just say hello. Is my plan.
Okay. All right. So you turn into a spider. You cast the spell using the necessary magics and verbal, somatic, or material, or your druidic focus. I don't know what all is involved in that one.
I think that when I do something like that, that is wild shape doesn't really take anything. I can just do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an ability. It's not a spell. And I'll turn to Jerk like as I'm transforming into a spider, so I'm like half spider, and I'm just like, follow me.
Like, oh yeah. No, you're like, follow me, and he goes and turns down and becomes a spider. Jerk, you're in this room. Like I said, you see a few patrons.
He's more nimble than I am. He can make it.
Two members of the wait staff maneuvering around, asking people if they need anything quietly, being very discreet, not trying to disturb anyone. You also notice that it is actually pretty quiet here. In fact, the music stopped. But
I'll follow the spider, I guess.
Okay.
It's his show.
All right. So, Jerk, give me just a dexterity check then, as you're just trying to wander past through this cramped maneuvering of tables. Taliesin, you find that the obstacles at your current size are no obstacle at all. So you're able to make what is essentially a beeline towards him through all the tables.
You know what I just thought of is like, what if when I wild shaped, have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
Yes.
The movie?
I just
not
like,
the show?
The movie, yeah. Like I was just thinking of like, what if I like transformed like what is it, Vlad that does it, where he can't transform his face though. So he like turns into a cat but with his face. It's like I'm a spider with my face.
Got a 17 on that.
Oh man. I think partial
Dexterity.
transformations would be like a higher level ability, honestly. Not
So
like the
there-
hilariously.
Well, for him, it was
Mistake.
like something that he just kept fucking it up. you know?
Right? But then you could still
I
talk and
mean-
shit. Like that's actually pretty good.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It is. Did Jerk ever? Oh, okay. Jerk finds his way, kind of maneuvering through the tables with a relative ease. As he's kind of able to shimmy and step, and he's familiar with finding a shortcut through a bunch of kind of difficult obstacles. He does kind of pass right in front of one guy. As excuse me, as Taliesin, you're kind of crawling past his table, past the back of it, and he kind of steps up. Pardon me, and has to, in order to follow you, share that a little bit, and you guys approach with that. You see this man. He is sorry. So, I did this in 2 ways, and I wish I would have just put it in one. I put some information on the locations tab and some information on the characters tab.
What was that? What was that drunken priest dude?
Jerk, as you approach him, you notice a man with white hair and the short but pointy ears of a half elf, sitting in a chair, and he kind of turns towards you as you're approaching. Oh, wow. Hello.
As he notices Jerk, I want to transform back into myself on the other side as he's like looking at Jerk.
I politely greet him and I say, my friend was looking for you. He'd like to speak to you.
He doesn't quite notice you as you transform back in. He goes, well, hello to you as well. And
Hello.
what did you say, Jerk?
So I politely greet him and I point over, like, motion
Okay.
to Taliesin and say, my friend would like to speak with you.
Well, why, yes. It's nice to meet you. How can I help today?
This
Are
is
there
Colonel Sanders?
yes? Are there chairs there that we could like sit at?
Yeah, they're kind of sitting on like a round little rotator piece, so you can basically grab any chair near him and then just kind of rotate it around. They go a full 360, 1080, whatever. So you can kind of rotate some chairs to be facing him.
Do you mind if we sit? I will say as I pull my Harper badge out of my my scarf.
As he is like, well, I always love to have a guest and hear a story. As you pull out the badge, you notice his eyes catch it and catch a glance as you reach out. It's like, I'd love to hear about your travels, and so that I could share more of your stories with the guests here in my inn.
Oh, precisely what I was hoping. I don't want to go through everything
Okay.
in roleplay. I don't want to go through everything in roleplay because there's a lot to tell him. But
so where would you start?
well, I would essentially start with.
Yeah,
I do want
readings and stuff.
Yeah, so I would start with telling him about the about the giants and the things that we had learned about that stuff. But my main concern with Neverwinter is about Ninzao, the dragon cultists, and the dragon that Neverwinter seems to be ignoring. And I'm hoping that he has maybe some information on Ninzao, and if he was aware, or that we had gotten word that he is actually not Ninzao, but a dragonborn in disguise who has infiltrated the Order of Bahamut.
Okay. I'm not sure what to respond
So-
to there exactly.
Well,
He's
so
like, I just word vomit all this at him. So in shock, Aldar Robbins is like, Well, that is a mighty tall tale you have come brought to me today.
Well, so essentially, yeah.
So I had a whole other idea how this plays out because I really, I know you love the role play, and I picked the
Yeah.
voice and the character, so I was all
Like,
prepped for this
I mean, we
interaction.
can role play it
Um,
for sure. I just
like,
didn't.
what would you
so
like?
just
Which of
give
those
me
crazy topics would
something.
you say
Yeah,
first?
give me something to start. Like you didn't. I'm imagining that Tal's gonna just come up and word vomit all this stuff out at him.
No, he wouldn't. No,
Okay,
I just didn't know
let's
if anybody wanted,
get
if
through our
everyone sit through all that.
let's get through our introductions, right? At least meet the guy. I mean,
Yeah,
he
all right.
Have
sounds
at it.
fun.
I'm
Maybe.
fine with
Oh,
listening to some role play.
I'm totally fine with role playing. I just know that I just didn't want to bore everyone. Sorry.
No, I thought it was gonna be like your moment.
No, this is why we're here. This is why we're here.
All right. My name is Taliesin. I come. I actually. I come from the High Forest, and I've been through a lot of journeys here with my friend, Jerk here. We've uncovered some things that have been going on, particularly here in Neverwinter. There are other things going outside that I would like to speak with you with, but there are many things, and there's some things in Neverwinter that really are drawing my concern, and I'm hoping that you may have some information on this.
Well, and if let's say after you say that, first thing he does is give you a look up and down, and being everything that you've just said is true, he kind of gives you an acknowledgement back. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Taliesin. Heard from Darren Edemath that you and some of your friends might be heading this way. He gave,
Aaron.
sent, gave, sent me a message, so I have been expecting you.
Right. He
Oh
did.
wait, Darathra, right? Sorry.
Well, Darathra
sent me.
also told me. I think Darren had initially told me about him, and then
Okay.
Darathra also pointed me in this direction. So
I was right the first time.
yeah.
Yeah, so Darren told me about you that you would be coming this way, and I have been expecting you. I'd actually had a drink prepared, and you see him like raise his hand and gestures towards, and um, one of the wait staff comes over. Very pretty human woman, dark skin, and um, incredibly well kept, well dressed. They asks what he wants, takes his orders. Like, I'd like you to bring me both the bottles that I set aside in my office today. And you see her nod and leave back, and he's sitting there. He's like, while that's arriving, I hear your concerns, and we definitely share them. Wanted to thank you very much for giving that information you had to Darren. He told us about the giants and the situation that's going on. It's become one of our chief concerns, as a giant revolt could mean uh, madness for the humanoid population of the Sword Coast. Kind of from here, it's like I wanted to have a conversation with you about a few things.
But what did you have in mind?
It's like, oh, with the note from Darren, and having heard that you've talked with Darathra, like from Darren, having shared the word, I'd like to share with you a method of faster travel to any harpers that might need to move about the Sword Coast.
Oh, I'm definitely interested in that.
Like there aren't a lot of us harpers from here, but we make do by sharing what information we have. And since you've come here today on the recommendation and word of many of my good friends, I'd like to offer you a new rank within the Hoppers.
Oh, I'd be honored. What would this? What would this mean? What would this entail?
Well, essentially, this patch, and you see him kind of draw one out and pull out and hold it in front of him. It's like, this patch is what would give you access or knowledge, access to the network of teleportation circles, and and prove that you are one of our members who is allowed to travel amongst our network. You'll need this in order to identify yourself to any of the mages or gods that you might find at the circles across Faerun.
Well, this would be greatly appreciated. This would be extremely helpful.
Now, I noticed that you've brought a friend with us here today, and I have not been told much about him, but I could make a few assumptions. Good sir, may I have your name? And he looks to you, Jerk.
My name is Jerk. I'm actually
it's
a native son of Neverwinter.
Well, I do declare, it is a pleasure to meet a fellow Neverwintian.
You as well.
I've heard a little bit about your group, your gang. I'm not sure what you call yourselves. The Sparkle Motion.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're,
Sparkle Motion. How the hell do you say Sparkle Motion with a Southern accent? Give it a try.
Spackle.
Back.
No, now you're up in New
I
York.
go into I go into
Boston.
fucking, like, yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's tough. Anyways, but
Our
I've heard of
Jerk.
your group. I've heard of the dancing lights in the sky, the Sparkle Motion. Uh, like, uh, Taliesin, are you putting forth your word for that this man would be allowed to travel with you?
Oh, certainly. He's been with me from the very beginning. Him and the others that we travel with, all of them, I trust with my life. I have trusted with my life. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have made it this far.
He looks at you. His eyes go from being kind of a very intense stare to a little softer, and a little bit of a smile comes on his lips. He's like, and that is exactly what I needed to hear, because we are all trusting our lives to you, Taliesin, and so you should only bring people you trust with you into these places.
And as I assumed, and I would not have brought any of them had I not fought alongside them and trusted that they would have my back as I have theirs.
Well, that is very fine to hear from such a gentleman with an upstanding reputation as your own.
Well, thank you.
In that moment, the waitstaff, she comes back and she's carrying a tray that has 2 bottles on it. One seems like a vintage wine. The other one in a much more like ornate bottle, kind of like chain link almost, kind of, or wire kind of meshed around the bottle to like hold it in. It's a little different. She's got 3. She has 6 glasses that she puts down, and the 2 bottles, and he waves her away. Says, "Thank you, dear. Thank you very much." And with the 2 in front of him, he goes. One of these drinks is to seal our friendship for you and anyone that would be traveling with you to this location that I will divulge. And the other is to celebrate. Wait, the first one was to celebrate the friendship. No, the first one is to celebrate our friendship between you, myself, and anyone who would travel to the location I am about to divulge. The other drink is meant to seal our deal, ensuring that you will be brought to the location. Are you currently ready to go?
Yes. Are we?
Well, if it's just the 2 of you, and you go and see him reach towards the bottles.
Oh no! I mean, if I understand you correctly, the rest of my party would also need to partake in this. Correct?
Yes. If there are others that you are trusting with this information as well as that we trust you, yeah, I would definitely like to meet them, and I can bring you all there once we all convene and speak, you know, in the presence of friends, as it were. So, to that note, let us share a toast to our friendship. And you see him go and grab the bottle that looks like the regular wine bottle, takes the wrap off, corks it quickly. It's sleight of hand that seems like, did he have a cork? He couldn't have done it that quick. Pops it, pours you guys a couple glasses of fine vintage of a bourbon. Pours one for each of you, puts it up for himself, and he goes, "As a toast to the Harpers and to our friendship moving forward."
I'll drink to that.
I raise my glass and I
Sure.
say, "Here, here."
Clanks. You
Yeah.
drink. Do your characters like booze?
Yeah, I mean, I slammed a bottle of brandy.
Right?
I've drank quite a
Does
bit.
Jerk?
I don't think Jerk understands what good booze is, and he's used
Does he
to
like?
he likes the cheap stuff because that's what he's used to.
Well, then for Jerk, this is a little too fine, a little too smooth. But Taliesin recognizes a little more that this is quite the vintage. Um, it's something that's clearly saved for special occasions. It's smooth, um, but you don't get much of that bite, but you get some of that. Um, you can almost feel a little bit of its effect. You're like, that's strong liquor, and
Hell
it's
yeah.
smooth. It's really good. But as it continues to sit down, she says, "Well, if we won't be journeying to that location, I feel we could have a few more words uh, about the giant problem. We understand, as the Harper's network, that this upheaval poses a grave threat to the balance of power in the North. You see, uh, giants have a tendency not to care about us. I hear we're called the small folk to them. Uh,
Yes.
and so their war between each other could potentially have devastating effects on a city like cities in the north. The first thing that comes to mind is the dwarven city of Mirabar. It's
Yeah.
close to the frozen wall where the giant's kingdom was once lost. There's places like Silvery Moon, where dangerous for them, if I should say, in the least. There are many giants out in the world, and many of them are very powerful,
Yes,
especially when we start speaking about the storm giants.
I'd like to tell him that they're looking for something. And then
Yeah, I was gonna say
tell
that
him
too.
about
You can do it though if you want to bring it up.
the
Uh,
collarbone that they dug up.
it's like, actually, I've heard all of this. Darren has shared this information with me. And I actually have a bit of a gift for you, Taliesin, that I can help you to communicate information back to me when you're, of course, ready to leave.
All right.
But he's basically, if you guys talk about any stuff, he knows about it because you guys sat and told Darren all the info.
Yeah.
Darren uses speaking stone to talk to Eldar, and then he basically got all the information that you had told from them. So it's been communicated to him. So if there are like questions about the information that you think they might know, that could be like the thing to ask. But he knows all the stuff that you've told
Right.
Darren and Dorothra.
Does anybody within our organization have any idea what these things that they are looking for are? We believe that it may be some sort of construct, but does anybody have any confirmation on that?
Actually, my master, Mugen Genkai, actually has some information I believe she's been digging up in her library. You see, I am a student of the arcane, and you see him kind of flick up in his hand and use a minor illusion to show the symbol of the Harpers, kind of like in a three-dimensional piece or like floating around. And my master Mugen, she guards the guards the teleportation circle, and she can believe she's been doing some studying. I would gladly bring you to her, as well as to this uh, thus undisclosed location.
All right.
So
But
basically,
yeah.
yes, Harper's in the city have been researching at the library.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When you said Mugen, I figured there'd be a library.
Do I know anything about the guy in the pipe?
Oh yeah, is your pipe just hanging out? Are you smoking your pipe in this
I have not. Tom, Jesus.
in this place?
Um, I have not pulled that out yet. I thought I was going to, but then I was like, but then he's just going to talk to me the whole time.
This might be a good place to research what you could do to help him. There's an entire section of the
Mugen
city
may
that's
know
wizards.
something. Yeah, Mugen may know something. I mean, that was kind of my plan while I was here. Was to try to see if there was anybody who knew more about getting him out of the pipe. I guess I would. I mean, I do want to speak with him about Ninzao though, and see if they have any information on that.
Now that I don't think you communicated to Darren. Everything you really communicated to Darren was about the Giants.
Yes, yeah. So this would be all new
Yeah.
information to him.
Okay.
Now, one other thing that I didn't tell Darren or Darathra, we had met a priest who was drunk, a drunk priest of Bahamut that was in Tribor, and it turned out that the drunkenness was actually a spell that we were able to dispel. Once his mind was clear, we learned about Ninzao. Are you familiar with this person? I'm told that he is the advisor to the king here, or the Lord Protector.
Daggle Neverember. Well, I definitely know a bit about our Lord Protector here in Neverwinter, and I would have to be remiss if I said that rumors have been circulating about his most recent choice of advisor. You may or may have not have heard about the dragon that was spotted to the east.
Yes, I have. Well, you see, sir, I am a druid, and within some of my druidic communications with the world, I have had visions of this dragon, and I feel as though I am called to do something about that. And I was concerned as to why no one seems to have taken notice.
Well, I have to say, young man, that is a question that many of the more, shall I say, cognizant citizens of Neverwinter have been asking themselves as well. You see, normally, when a creature like a dragon is seen in the Neverwinter woods or someplace here in the north, uh, it's a moment for cities to cower and adventurers to make a name for themselves. It's often seen as a opportunity amongst most, and is uh, companies like the Lord's Alliance or the Zentrum pay people to encounter such dangerous entities, perhaps gaining their secrets or gaining their hoards, as it were. It's become kind of a lucrative thing for a city to participate in. Many of the citizens are asking ourselves why. We don't even know what color the dragon is. And to note, not only are people asking, but some adventuring parties have just gone out to try and encounter these dragons. And I have heard of rumors that none of them have yet returned.
Well, I believe the dragon is not alone. The dragon, we had met a dragon cultist in our travels, and we let him go because he posed no threat at the time, and we had a necromancer on our hands.
That sounds like a harrowing tale. I would love to hear more about that at another time.
Though I believe that the dragon cult is on site, with this dragon. So there may be more than just a dragon to deal with.
They have a necromancer too.
Well, I
There's
don't
rumors
know.
of that.
I have to say, unfortunately, my skills in the arcane arts have not, as of yet, approached the level of necromancy. So I am unfortunate to say I do not know much of that school of magic. I can tell you, though, that what I do know about Neverember's new aide is that he seems to be one of the 7 priests at the Dragon's Temple. Which to me seems all the more odd that this priest would not have encouraged a Neverember to engage in any kind of assault on such a dangerous creature living so close to Neverwinter.
Which
I'm
is
sure. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, this is a question that I have also had. Now, the drunken priest that we had met was, once we had cleared his mind, was claiming that he had he had accidentally stumbled in on this Ninzao and without disguise, and he was actually a dragonborn who had been disguising himself. He had the same voice, same clothing, everything. And after he had seen this secret, he was there was a spell cast on him, and he was cast out. I think there might be somebody
Boy.
infiltrating.
Well, that there is a story about corruption in the church. Oh, you best watch how many people you tell that there, son. You see, there are
Yes.
a lot of folks around here who worship Bahamut, especially in the Protector's Enclave. I would be wary of who you say, but
I
the
have it.
Dragon's Temple
Yes.
might be a better place for you to try and find answers to some of these questions.
All right.
But I would be wary about accusing clergymen of distrust and who you tell.
I did not. I have not accused anybody of anything. I am just telling you what I have been told. I have also not told anybody else. Though I felt that
Just a bit of friendly advice.
I understand. And I totally get why you say that.
I wish I had more information for you. I'm unfortunately acting as a bit of a go-between here. It's actually a part of my role is to be here as a go-between and a bit of a buffer for my master.
Understandable. I will. I believe it's time that I fetch the rest of my party so that we may partake in this lovely drink that you have provided for us, and then we can go meet your master.
Certainly. I'd like to meet your friends and share a few of these drinks with them as well. I'll have the girls arrange the tables so that we could fit how many?
There would be 3 more.
3 others. 6 tables altogether. And you see him gesture and maybe his hand, and she comes over. He's like, gives her instruction to, can you arrange this so that we can have 6 people facing each other? And they start going about and shifting chairs and things around. They ask you to get up, jerk. You guys gotta shift around, and they make a position that's available for that many people to be sitting around a few of the small tables in front of the hearth.
So while Taliesin goes and gets the others, I'd like to sit and just hear stories about Neverwinter and what's changed since I was a kid.
Well, I'm gonna go grab a
Since I was
beer
gone.
because I'm just gonna go get people.
Okay, and I'm gonna, I don't know why I never came back here and clicked that music back on. It makes me really sad.
It's okay. Thank you for role playing with me. That was dope.
Yeah, it was fun. It was totally kind of wanted it to be there for you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's battle music. Man, is that it? Nope, it's way too epic.
Victory!
So epic. Wait, there it was. Man. So I went through and I added a bunch of music today because I was like, okay, I want to have some of this stuff available, but I didn't really sit down to like memorize which tracks were which things. So I apologize.
Big shame.
So are we doing that? Is this the take a break moment? Because it seems like he went to go get the party. He left, and then Jerk's trying to. What are you trying to do? Sorry.
I just want to talk to this guy about like how Neverwinter's different than it used to be. See what's changed. See what's stay the same. See,
Well, how long has it been since you have been here?
it's been a while,
It's been a while. How long is a while? 10 years? 20 years?
including the years we were in another dimension. Probably about how many? 4?
2.5
Come
was
on.
the time skip, and you guys have been on this campaign for probably a few months.
Okay, so
3 years.
probably about 3 years.
Oh well, I would say not a lot has happened over the last 3 years. The Tower District continues to be gentrified and repaired as as it has been for the last few decades. There was a bit of a scary incident where everyone thought that the chasm was going to open back up and drow would start flowing back out of this terrible hole in the earth, and well, uh, it just turned out to be an earthquake. It was a lucky day. We only only a few buildings were destroyed.
I'd like to find out if any of the priests that were close to my mom and dad are still serving at the temple.
Um, I'm not much for a religious man. I actually believe much more in the strength of the individual and their own magics than I do in obtaining those magics from other beings. So I'm sorry, I don't know much about the Dragon Temple or Bahamut.
Okay. I
It's funny. People always think I'm a religious man, but I am not.
think it might be the accent.
So strange. I'm only from Baldur's Gate. We all speak like this in Baldur's Gate. By the way, if you ever go to Baldur's Gate, everyone talks like the Colonel.
Hell yeah.
All right, well,
And they-
I'll just sit and I guess chit chat with him until everybody comes back.
Tells you a story about it, like, there was a time when like a couple hill giants like wandered up to the north wall and were demanding food, but just eventually, were driven off, and just like other kind of random events and things that happen.
All right, cool.
There's a lot of things you could just sit and talk about, but they're more like local
Just
goings on and
anecdotes and stories. You sound
some
good.
things maybe an adventure about Harper's who came through and things that he's heard in other places. It's like, I can tell you some stories of some adventurers who traveled through here
Okay, then we'll
in
just
this warm,
chat.
buttery voice of mine.
We'll just chat while the others are on their way down.
Yeah.
Taliesin goes upstairs to find what
do you-
have you ordered with your hour or two of room service?
Fish sampler for 5. So
Fish
we ate
sampler for 5.
probably
I mean,
most of it
when
by
you're at the
now.
high class places, it always just says like instead of having actual stuff, just we will sell you what is in season and you will like it.
Sometimes.
Like
There's a menu. There's a menu. But you know, they really if you ask the wait staff to like, can you put this on there and this on that instead? They'll, yeah, sure, I'll talk to the chef.
So basically, mini seafood buffet for 5 for
Mhm.
3 of
Yep.
us.
No,
And
get it
Any
for
booze?
5. And then
not for me.
what? Do we want
For
wine
them.
or do we want ales?
It's the same day as the previous wine.
What?
Yeah, I didn't expect you to care.
Are you
Chance is just
suggesting?
over there happy for free food.
Right, Chance is happy for food. So yeah,
Are you guys still eating?
5.
Oh, we ate without
So
you.
yeah, this is what I
We
want to
didn't
hear.
know.
Like what the
Yeah.
scene is. You come upstairs, you get to the
Yeah.
door, you
Oh,
unlock
yeah.
it, you just go inside and like, hey guys.
Yeah, I knock,
Sparkle?
and then I'm coming back, and then I open the door, and I'm just like, "You all done eating yet?"
Chance is like
Sparklegem.
sitting on
Oh.
the floor
Go ahead, Sarah.
eating seafood. He's just sitting on the floor eating like all the fish.
I say Sparklegem's just kind of like sprawled out on the floor with one ale in one hand and her face right next to her plate, just slowly shoveling food into her mouth. She's hammered.
Wait,
She's obliterated.
Into the Sparklegem mouth or
Yes.
into Sparklegem's mouth?
No, she's already given up on the
Wait, no,
disguise.
it's the other way
self.
around.
She's in like full gold body, white hair, just sprawled out, too drunk to care,
She's trying to
shoveling
keep the
food in
spell
her
up.
mouth.
Well,
What's Godwall doing?
I find that a little weird.
And you also notice that Sparklegem's clothes are like half on, half off, and you're not sure what exactly happened there. Even the people
I
in the
also find that a
room
little
aren't
weird.
sure how that happened.
I mean, Chance is gonna like shove a plate at least of like a fish at you to see if you want some food.
Well, she's still
Just
eating
kind of
it.
almost insulted that you don't want the fish. Like, yeah, you want this. It's delicious. Come on, eat it.
Well, I need you guys to come downstairs with me. It's gonna involve a drink.
At the word of a drink, Sparklegem tries her best to just jump straight up really fast.
Godwell, do you think you could like minor restoration her, sober up a little bit or something? I mean, if not, it's fine. But
I'm willing to try. I'm not sure what effect it will have on her current state.
just try it, I guess.
Alright, I will commit that spell slot of attempting to remove the poison condition from the current Sparklegem.
All right, so Godwald comes out of his room. Finally, I didn't want to deal with this. Comes out. Taliesin wants him to cast a spell. What do you need to do? You said try. What check are you making here?
It's one of those oddly worded spells. It's like I've done this before and gotten okay of like removing the poisoned condition from the person.
Mm-hmm.
So basically trying to remove the effects of the alcohol.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if he can do minor restoration to like sober her up, or at least a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, but is there a check you need to do here? I didn't think you needed to for
no.
a willing person.
No, but I don't know what her physiology is at this point.
Oh,
I
well,
forget.
she is very openly now no longer a magic cast to look like the Sparklegem that you once knew. She is splayed out in front of you as a golden skinned
Skin,
Golden-skinned
white
woman.
long hair,
White long hair.
pale white eyes, woman, and
No
like her
pupils,
skin.
just white.
Yeah, no pupils, just solid white. And she's about 5'8" now, so she's definitely like almost twice the height of the Sparklegem you knew. And you would notice she has a body that most people would consider like high attractive.
Oh, she's a hottie with a badass little body.
Well, she has to be because her charisma is ridiculous, and we all know her personality is shit.
I just had a line from Hoodie Ninja in my head for some reason. Anyways, yeah, so that's her physiology. It is the person in front of you.
And if
lying
they're
there.
just a regular humanoid, then this would sober them up
Yes.
abruptly.
So am I abruptly sober?
You find yourself suddenly very, very sober and no longer under the conditions of the poisoned effect.
I've got more alcohol for you. Just let's go downstairs. I have somebody that I need you guys to meet, and we might not have to ride in carts anymore. We'll see.
Can I take the shrimp with me?
Yeah, I don't care.
Cool.
Sure.
Sparklegem's going to grumble as she's like putting herself back together somewhat. It's
Just
like,
pulled right
you
out of your
got-
fun spot.
right? It's just like,
Well,
come on, you
we'll get-
guys.
We'll get you back
can't
there.
You
Now
just
you have
can't.
more time to get.
You paid money for all that booze.
I know. What a waste of all my money. You just wasted all that money.
I'll give you more money. I don't care about money at all.
Come downstairs already. So you guys can get your stuff together, out of the room, get your gear, and come downstairs.
Yeah, with a plate of fish in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I got shrimp. I already ate the fish. Just like
You
shrimp.
ate all the
pots.
fish on all the plates.
Nobody else was eating it. It was gonna go bad. It's fish.
He's also a cat.
Catman
not
loves
wrong.
his fish. Yeah, so as you guys gather up your stuff and you head downstairs, you're gonna go down the flights of stairs. As you all exit the room, you hear the lock magically lock behind you as it recognizes all of your keys have been taken out of the room.
Okay.
That's
Yep,
cool.
Yeah, you all have a key.
Taliesin got 5 keys, and I hope he distributed them to us.
Oh yeah, I would
She
have done
pushed
that.
them out on the desk for each of you to take one.
Yeah.
I guess
Okay.
I assumed when I said that everyone assumed that they took one. So hey, everybody, put key to my hotel in your inventory.
Yes.
Good for 24 hours from 9 p.m. on the 17th day of whatever the hell month this is.
Not the
Claw
claw.
of sunsets.
Yeah.
It's sunsets, not
Going into spring, right?
yeah. It's no longer the claw of winter. It's the claw of sunsets. Yeah, it's officially spring in the north.
Remember when it was summer and then like 10 minutes later it was winter,
It's been the longest winter.
and also 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. You guys come downstairs. The music is gone from some harp. Like there are some harps in here, but man, this one woman band is just like rocking it in the back in this corner. But it's quiet. It's still soft. It's not really in it, but it's like she's playing multiple instruments back there. Like what is going on? It's crazy.
It's pretty sweet.
Are they singing like a chorus of voices? Like what? How? Anyways, as you kind of walk in the room, it's as I described to everyone earlier. These kind of low, swiveling chairs. This big open space, lots of it. Smoke kind of filling the top of the ceiling, getting sucked out of the room, and a hearth way off at the center of this big room.
This time I'm gonna try to just like make it through the chairs.
Yeah, there's a weaving S path that's there for the waitresses to take essentially. So as they pass by and ask someone, they get another chance as they keep going. Kind of idea.
Mm-hmm.
So you just wander, weaving up to the seat. Now there's six of these seats have been arranged, and is it gonna cycle now? I feel like it. I'll try it again. Arranged, and you see a gentleman in a white suit blazer sitting there with a pin harped on him, and invites you all in. He goes, "Ah, friends, please come and join me for a fine drink today." And Taliesin, I had one of my ladies fetch the gift that I had gotten for you.
Oh,
I'll be back in a minute.
very much. These are my friends. Of course, you've clearly already met. Obviously, you've met Jerk, but this is Sparklegem. She is Jerk's. You know, she kind of. We met them at the same time. This one is Chance, and this one is my good friend Godwald. He's from the town of Fandolin.
Chance gives a friendly wave as he still eating his shrimp.
Oh my word, a tabaxi in Neverwinter. It has been some time since I have even seen someone of your persuasion. It's something to behold. Sparklegem, how do you look right now?
Are you still cold?
You're still gold?
You're-
I mean, you didn't say.
I
you
mean,
went back.
yeah.
So I was assuming you didn't, but
I'm
Here's your
just gonna say she had her robe like pulled over her head completely because she's more irritated that she got soberfied than anything else.
he turns to Godwald and he goes, a man of the cloth. It's, should I address you as your clericship or your priesthoodness?
Godwald is fine. I have been away from the temple for quite a long time.
It's a rare occasion to find those members of a church who travel on adventures rather than serving the needs of their community locally. You must have had a very good reason to have left Neverwinter. Training as a cleric, perhaps?
There seemed to be a limit what I could learn, even in as grand a city as this. And to be honest, I was worried about my hometown.
You mentioned Fandolin, and we've had some word of some of the issues that have come through there, thanks to Darren. It seems like the town has remained safe, thanks to you all, as members of Sparkle Motion. Now, I don't believe I remember having heard of a Tabaxi man or and I'm sorry, you said your name was Sparklegem?
That's what they call me.
I had heard of you as a different kind of person, so this is at odds with the information that has been shared with me. Taliesin, is there an explanation for what I am seeing in front of me?
I mean,
You
we've
could
all
just
been
say
affected by our travels in one way or another. I, for one, had weird kiwi skin and invisible arms for a while, but that has been resolved. You're just unfortunately meeting her at a time in which she's also been affected by something because of our travels and the things that we're doing, and maybe she'll stay this way. I don't know.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate being privy to all the information that I can be. I would also say, though, there is no story of this Tabaxi man traveling with Sparkle Motion. Taliesin, would you vouch for this person, this a fine gentleman?
Yes. So I actually met this young man before I met any of these fine folk that I travel with. We had run into each other as I started my journey from the High Forest, and I found him in a bad spot with some poachers, and saved him and got him out of that situation. We traveled together for a while and became quite good friends.
I will take your word as your bond, as I'm sure any fine gentleman would. And Mr. Chance, it's a pleasure to meet you. You're traveling with a party of adventurers who are making quite the name for themselves. You may find yourself in a few tales here and running around the city yourself soon.
As Taliesin was describing how Chance and him met, Chance comes over and like links arms with them, still eating his one shrimp, and he like swallows. He's like, I kind of like heard a little bit in my travels, but it's more so really good to see a good friend that I know I can trust, and I have his back and he has my back. So whatever he needs, I'm there.
Oh, that is so encouraging to hear. I do have to say that it is good to see and have met you all. I have heard a bit about your adventures, some from Darren sending me information, but also word of your exploits has made its way to the occasional tavern here in Neverwinter. So, what I'd like to then do would be to raise a toast to everyone here. And you see he has now where there were 6 glasses before, there are now 12. He leans over and out of the flask that he had popped for you and for Jerk and Taliesin, he pours something into each of these fresh glasses, 6 of these fresh glasses, hands them to everyone, and holds up a toast. And he says, it's like, to the Hoppers and to Sparkle Motion, may we all continue doing our best to protect the land of Faerun, our friends, and our family.
Here, here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I could go to cheers, everyone. And then,
Cheers, and then
Clink
down to one
glasses
gulp.
around. Don't-
and this is where Jared TPKs all of us because it was poison.
Chance is gonna sniff it weirdly, but he's gonna drink it.
I
Okay.
have several. I can neutralize more poisons today. And this person seems trustworthy enough. Sure.
Chance, as you sniff it, roll me perception. You're gonna roll all sorts of sniff checks. I'm gonna make you do sniff check.
Oh my god. Alright, so my perception has an advantage already.
Well, so a perception check would be. Wait,
I think you only have that advantage when you are in dark vision.
No, I also have something else that gives me advantage on perception.
Was it
Okay,
the
that would be really powerful. I'm not going to not believe you. Well, you could tell me what it is later, and it's okay here for the time
Okay.
being.
Do you have advantage on like perception checks that involve like smell and stuff like that?
It is.
I know
So what
Rob
it is.
has stuff like that with her character because she's like a badger person.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I have a ring that gives me a ring of truth telling, and then I have a luck stone. And
Oh, you
I've
can use
got-
charges on the luck stone. Yeah, that's a thing. You could also just use your inspiration if you don't like your roll, because everybody's got inspiration today. Oh, sorry, you were saying it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive the DM.
you're fine. I'm just saying, like, even on my character sheet, like next to perception and insight, I have that little A thing, and it says I
Okay.
have advantage on it.
Click
Oh,
it. and
yeah. The ring
give
of
you the
truth telling for insight and wisdom checks that let you spot, hear, or otherwise detect the presence of something. Yeah. Yeah, that's from your sentinel shield.
Yeah, so that's just something as long as she has her shield she has.
Yep. Okay. So yeah. So you could roll again with that same bonus on your perception. If you want to see if you can even higher.
21.
You do not smell any poison other than alcohol. But you do get a strong scent of alcohol. It is strong alcohol. You can
Alcohol's
tell
poison.
just from the scent.
Oh, and then Chance is gonna give like a sniff or a tiny sneeze to the side before he shoots the shot.
I'm gonna look up the ingredients of bourbon so we can say like you smell hints of, because you
Right.
like basically you like nailed it. But you basically smell all of the ingredients within a bourbon, like the distillery, the kind of like you're like this was oak, these were oak barrels that it was aged in and stuff like that. And you're very positive that it's not poisoned in any way. So then you drink.
I drink. I do drink. I just.
Take your drink, and then God was the last one, and you were going to to negate poison at something, or what was the deal?
No, I was making a bad joke and it didn't work. I am just gonna drink normally. Because I
Okay.
picture this is like the dwarf thing, but different somehow.
So as he raises his glass and he comes back, he's like, I do so appreciate the presence of friends and I would like to express that gesture in a gift to the fine gentleman who has brought us all here together today. Taliesin, here. And he gives you what is a little box with a bow on it, and there's a lid on it that you can just kind of pop off.
Yeah, I will open it. Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting a gift. I mean, you told me about it, but
when you open it, you see that inside there is a speaking stone. You're familiar because you have seen the speaking stones. It has an engraving on it, and a couple engravings on it. One of the engravings being in the shape of a harp. And he tells you, he's like, that speaking stone comes back to one of my speaking stones. This is the way that we, as the Harpers, continue to share information without having a lot of members. So I, from this point forward, will be your contact in Neverwinter. Your reputation, having preceded you, coming from Darren and Darathra, has spoken well of you, and we have all decided to raise you to the next rank in the Harpers. And as you pull out the sending stone, underneath there is another patch where similar with the symbol, but this time it's a little more ornate with a few markings that reflect an increased rank. And
awesome.
I actually have that down somewhere.
I will. I think. Oh, my camera just fell.
And I have the name of it for you. Shit. I meant to have this tab open.
The name is shit?
Yeah, you're now ranked
glowing.
shit.
My rank is now shit.
No, I gotta keep it going. I gotta keep it flowing. But so there's a rank for you. It's like basically bestows that rank upon you as a second level in the Harpers. So before you were one, and now you're the other. And I don't want to stop things here.
Yeah, I greatly appreciate this, sir. I mean, honestly, this has been, even my small time within the Harpers has been a great boon to my party. Just the information that we've gotten, and I'm very glad to pass along the information. Honestly, information I feel like is probably the most important thing when it comes to trying to fight the evils of this world. So I appreciate your trust in me.
And that is why I am bestowing upon you now from the rank of Watcher, which you once were, to that of the Harp Shadow. So you're a Harp Shadow now.
I am excited about that. I'm just also typing.
Very cool.
Hooray!
Just to also throw this out there for a couple of people, Jerk, you are a Fang, and Chance, you are also a Fang of the Zentrum. Those are the first level Zentrum.
Roger.
And I suppose for Godwald, you would be the rank of Cheval in the Order of Bahamut.
What rank is that?
It's the first rank too.
Oh.
He hasn't been home in a while. Yeah, so he goes, I hope you all have enjoyed this. That is not on repeat. Son of a... Which icon is the repeat icon? It's got to be this one now.
Still going for me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's still playing for me.
Oh. Okay. Well, then it was on repeat, and I just don't get music like you guys do.
What is Jerk's rank in the hand?
You guys do not have ranks in the hand.
Yay!
The Stranger.
We're just agents. We don't mess around
Somebody
with ranks.
sat on him for 5 minutes.
You're not that kind of... You're not that kind of organized. You're much more grassroots.
Dig it.
Very much everyone's equal. Everyone has the same power.
Equality is
everything.
a really big
Yeah,
thing in the
yeah.
hand, right?
All-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the hand is 100% equality for everything, everyone. Like, yeah. That's what it
So
says
yeah,
at the start.
so no ranks within the hand. So in addition to assigning you a gift, he goes, and now that we've all declared ourselves friends, I would like to share with you all the secret that Taliesin has shown your approval to learn. And to Taliesin, remember, you're going to need that patch to prove who you are anytime you travel through to any of these places. In order to seal that arrangement, I would like to have another toast. And just to share with everyone here, understand that this is delicate information, that the Hoppers, we are trusting Taliesin and trusting you. And if you were to cross us, we will know and we will find you.
I don't doubt that.
So he goes out and he reaches to a second bottle, which a few of you are only seeing for the first time. It is got a kind of like meshed wire that is wrapping around the bottle, and on top of that, it has a screw lid. Something that's kind of strange for glass bottles and things that you see nowadays. So he kind of like unscrews the top of this bottle. It's a little bit bigger. And the lid, he goes out and he pours a sip into 6 glasses, and he sets them down, and he hands one to each of you, and he goes out and says, this is like, I'd like to make yet another toast to find friends and to protecting the realm. I wish you the greatest of luck on all of your adventures. May Timora or Bahamut or whatever deities you all believe in, may they guide you as you travel on
Here,
your
here.
travel. Raises the glass, clinks
Clink.
to everybody.
Yeah.
Chance does the same thing where he raises
Cheers.
it. He's gonna drink it, but he still sniffs it first.
Chance sniffs it first. Does anybody drink it?
Sparkle
I
Gem
do.
did.
Yeah.
Bottom up. One shot.
I'm all in.
As soon as Sparklegem and Taliesin imbibe the liquid, they disappear from in front of you, Godwald, Jerk, and Chance.
Visibility.
Oh shit! I take a sip.
That's unexpected.
Chance
You're
looks
standing
around
there.
like,
He's holding the glass.
Yeah, I
He's like-
drink mine too.
Jerk, drink yours. He looks at Godwald and Chance, and he goes, "If you would like to catch up to your friends, I highly recommend that you imbibe." And
Chance looks at-
in front of you, he pours his glass back into the jug.
We're doing some sweet magical stuff.
Chance looks over at Godwald and gives like a big shrug. Throws his like 1 or 2 pieces of shrimp down and chugs his glass real quick.
Mixed with the shrub. No, it doesn't work. Chance disappears in front of you, Godwald.
Then I suppose a good evening to you, and I will drink it because the alternative is I'm stuck here with this guy that doesn't trust me.
Trust you. That's silly. All right. Shoot, I got the map, but I didn't put it in the thing, so I'm gonna put it in the other thing right now. 5 seconds. And I named it Harper. So, who are the first 2?
Allison and Sparkle Gem.
Yeah.
And as soon as Sparkle Gem's feet land, she's going to be pissed that it wasn't alcohol. Like, we're pissed now. I was
Yeah,
forced
so-
to propriety.
Oh man. So here, I guess I could do it this way. I could do. I'm gonna just bring everyone there, and then we'll talk about this. So, And hold
I
on.
could give Sparklegem some drugs.
I had to restart this.
All
right, so-
Wait, no, that's the poison version of the drugs. Never mind.
All right.
I've got some
I'm really
shrooms.
hoping the sound reloads for me. Yes.
Going for me.
All right, sweet. It's not the one I wanted. Oh, I added too many things, you guys. There it is. Yes. All right.
What?
Taliesin and Sparklegem, you find yourselves upon being transported. As you drink, you imbibe the drink with your eyes closed. You go to open them, and you find yourself holding an empty glass. You and all of your gear sitting in a room that has a runic circle marked on the center of the floor. This is a round marbled chamber. Now this image is something I kind of dropped off the internet to give you some sense, but let me give you like a real description. In a round marbled chamber in the center of a runic circle, which has 4 other circles and markings around and nearby it. The stone walls in this room stop about 10 feet up, with a round wooden roof that comes to a point about 30 feet above your heads. Around the room, there are several stained glass windows set into these stone walls, these marbled walls, and in front of each is a different cloak set on a stand with a faux head and torso to display it. So basically it's like a head torso thing, and then the cloaks are sitting on it. The cloaks range in color, quality, and size. At one end of the room, there is an empty throne. Opposite that end is a flight of stairs leading down, indicating this seems to be the top floor of this building. Suddenly, your compatriots appear next to you with all of their gear, glass in hand, and you all see this same scene.
Well,
Sparklegem smashing her glass on the ground. First thing.
The sound echoes out.
could you not?
Seems to travel well.
Could you give me back my drunk buzz?
I can't, but I'll buy you alcohol later. I
Fine.
don't know where we are, but I was told that we were going to go to a secret place, so I'm not all that surprised. I don't know if he's going to be coming with us, or if we are waiting here for somebody. Can I make like a perception check to see if I hear anybody coming or anything like that?
Yeah, go ahead.
13.
Okay. You look as you look around the room, and you listen intently. You actually don't hear much at all. It's actually very quiet. When you were in the rumored hearth, how you kind of exited the city streets and came inside, you now hear a strange kind of twinkling, a little a dinging off in the distance, but it's coming from definitely the chamber where the stairs are. So there's a light sound coming from downstairs, but other than that, it's eerily quiet. There's no breeze in the room, and it seems to be almost illuminated by the stained glass windows.
So Jerk is just gonna go. Should we go check out that noise?
I don't think you
check
heard.
out that noise.
I don't think you heard that. I think I was the only one that heard it. But I would tell you. Well, I hear something downstairs.
Okay.
But yeah, we should go check that out.
Chance be all yeah, sure. Kind of puts his shot glass into his bag because he may need it for later. Who knows?
Because there's nothing else in this room. I mean, it's just
Stained glass windows,
and, mannequins,
cloaks on display.
Do I know any of the
throne.
significance of these sort of thing? Is there a roll I can make?
What kind of significance would you be looking into? Is there any religious significance? Religion check. Is there arcane significance, Arcana check.
I'd probably start with I'd probably think arcane because that was not a natural thing that just happened.
Okay. Definitely. Give me your Arcana check.
20.
Yeah. What you... Well, so just kind of now, as you've been adventuring and traveling, you're getting a better sense of like some arcane things. And you look down and you immediately put together, you're like, well, this is clearly like a teleportation circle that we're sitting on, and then we were teleported to this teleportation circle. So you gather that like right off the bat. Most people got that. And the symbols on the ground, you're like 4 other circles. You might put together like maybe there's 4 other places that we could go. And with the 20 as well, you notice some very faint lines that lead from the circle to the throne, and you imagine that the throne is in some way involved in this as well. It's a good roll, but yeah. So there's the cloaks, actually, too, as you're looking around, and you're spending some time like investigating things. It's like you just, given the situation in the room, you and Taliesin with your insight, you get the sense that, like, if these things are magical, there's a good chance that the cloaks are magical as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you're all kind of standing there in that circle in the center of the room.
And I would have, I mean, we really have no idea, like, where we're at. But
I would step out of the one we came from in case someone else starts to use it.
As the moment that Godwald steps outside of the mill, a bell that is hidden up in the rafters goes ding-ling, ding-ling-ling, ding-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling. And you hear from not too far away, but below, oh my, hello? Is anyone up there?
Yes. We were sent by Aldar.
Colonel Sanders.
Sorry, my hands are full right now. I can't greet you. Feel free to come downstairs. Oh, and don't touch the cloaks. They don't like to be molested.
So that's a weird way to put it. I didn't plan on it. We'll be right down. And I would head on down.
As each of you steps outside of the circle, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling, you get 2 rings for each of you that steps outside of it. And then you basically, there is a flight of stairs that are, like I said, opposite of that throne room. As you head down and descend the stairs, the circular stairwell continues down into a chamber where the stairs lead to flat portions of the floor that curve around the wall, which is entirely lined with bookshelves. On each flat section, there is a ladder on wheels so a person could climb to reach any of the books. Artwork and artifacts fill the spaces around the stairs where bookshelves would not be reachable. And let me go throw you a quick quasi, not quite it, but this is what we're going with, close enough image.
Our library is not that big in my campaign.
As you go down farther into the area, this extremely ornate library goes down. 2 levels below where the stairs enter into this chamber, is where the floor kind of gives way to you seeing this space and seeing these candelabras like hung up and lit, all these books on these shelves. You see a high elf with a golden brown skin, purple eyes, and white hair, wearing a gigantic hat. And she is on one of the ladders, holding a massive pile of books and attempting to hold one hand on the ladder, hold one arm under it. The books are piled up above her head, above the top of her pointy hat, and she is leaning on like one arm on that, trying to like grab another book off the shelf as she's trying to hold all these things. And she kind of like looks up and she goes, "Oh, hi. How are you guys?" Whoa.
I run over
and you
to
see
try to
she's
like catch her or books or anything.
all right. Yeah, she's stumbling on the shelf, but she's 2 levels below you. You're gonna have to give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can
Make it down there.
run down there in time. Like I said, it is this curved wall, and she is 2 levels below you.
Jerk
I mean, is it
going to
possible
try
you
as
could
well.
jump down? Yeah.
What is it?
Can you jump down?
I mean, yeah, like kind of look at the image that I've given you guys on the map here. So
we're like,
imagine the space where the stairs are. That's
we're
right
like
where you're
up
kind of
here.
coming down.
we're like
And then like
she's like here.
you guys are like here at the top of the stairs, and you can kind of see her 2 levels down on a ladder,
I'm
like
not jumping down
struggling
that
and
far.
pulling books out.
I'm gonna get hurt real bad if I jump down that far.
Okay, so what is everybody doing?
I'm gonna try to run down to see if I can try to catch her
that,
or books
I'll-
or something.
All right, you're gonna give me an athletics check. Anybody else? I hear Jerk was going.
I was going to say, nope, I'm not.
Am I doing acrobatics? For run?
Athletics, because you're gonna run.
Athletics?
I was going to say Sparkle Gem's going to run
Okay.
over to the railing and then kind of like do almost like a spring roll down underneath to the level and then try and help him from there. But
Okay,
I'll
Sparkle
start
Gem wants
there.
to pull some acrobatic maneuvers. Maybe are you gonna go like straight that direction? You're gonna try and swing on the candelabras or something?
Well, that's what I was thinking is like get up on the railing, kind of like drop down to the layer below, grab that candelabra, use the momentum from that, and like then do a backflip and land right next to her.
That's gonna be acrobatics. Anybody else trying to help the lady with books?
I got a 9
I,
athletics because I'm not strong. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Hold up.
I'll stay
Let me
out of their way.
Okay.
Let me double check what gives me this advantage quick.
Swear I heard Jerk say he was gonna go too, but I didn't
Yeah,
hear him after that.
I started to tell you, and then I quit.
Okay.
Guess Jerk's gonna try to do acrobatics down candelabra and maybe try to snatch some of the books from her as he's landing.
Okay. So
So,
this is gonna be
yeah.
a kind of multi-maneuver,
Yeah.
and is Chance just gonna hang out?
Oh, Chance was definitely gonna jump down and sees everybody going. I'm like, well, shit, might as well watch what they can do.
All right.
So he's
So
hanging out, like he's crouched down next to Godwall, looking over the railing.
Oh, I gotta change my name on this back to Sparkle Gem. I have advantage as well due to the Wand of Binding, my arcane focus. Doesn't matter. Horrible. I fall
unfortunate.
flat down
That
on
is so
my face,
unfortunate.
guys. I got an 8. Straight up got an 8. So I just fall
All right.
right on the desk on my face. Guess I'm not as sober as I thought I was.
And so Taliesin hangs out. So Chance, what are you gonna try and get down there? You're gonna try and run down there. You're gonna try and pull his acrobatic maneuvers like everybody's crazy.
Well, since I already said I'm crouched down next to Oswald, like watching what they can do, see what's going on with this group. Because I think I
Okay.
could get down there, but you got like 3 people already rushing it. Probably end up running into them.
I mean, maybe not if you don't roll a 4.
I got a 23, by the way.
I saw it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get everybody's roles and what they're doing before we resolve what happened. And then everybody else is hanging out. Okay. So as you guys come around this corner and you see this person, she goes, "Oh, hi. Like, it's nice to meet you." And she kind of like, even in her greeting, is still reaching for a book to grab, like, smiling and going. You see that she starts to fumble and fall. Taliesin, like, alertly, like, "Oh shit!" And he just starts trying to run down the stairs, but he can't quite. I mean, when you're talking about that circular distance, it's a long way to run, right? So he can't quite get down there in time. But we find Jerk and Sparklegem go diving off at the same time in order to be like, "Oh shit! Like, we gotta help this woman from falling 6 feet by jumping 24 feet." So
The queen.
and so they go kind of flying off in the same direction with the same intent. And Sparklegem like is just behind him enough that they kind of hit like like it just throws her off. You don't guys really collide in the air, but you know that like if you were going to collide into him, that you would have fallen the rest of the way down the steps. So you try to twist and you fall, bam, you roll into the ground, hit it, and roll up into the bookshelf while Jerk manages to land and like throw a hand up because it's kind of tall-ish, you know, like throw a hand up. She's on a ladder, but gets it up to like hold the bottom of the books and be like, oh there, oh there. But you take 6 bludgeoning damage from the fall. And Taliesin, you find yourself, you were only really able to make it like a quarter of a way around. You would have had to have been incredibly fast running in order to get 2 levels down the spiral.
I'm just like panting like I'm not an athlete.
Oh boy. This is why I cast magic. But yeah, so but collectively, you guys got a coach, and she grab her book, and she's like, "Oh, thank you so much," and just kind of like drops them in your hands, so that she can then grab the book that she wanted off the shelf and put it on top of the pile. Give me a dexterity check to see if you can keep this stack of books upright, kind of almost like above your head. Stack of books. You're like, whoa, 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 hold on! Like, just made this worse.
Inspiration.
All right. No one need fail a roll tonight.
15.
Yeah, so you're able to like kind of wobble in and like, okay, and you realize that this is bad, and just put it down in front of you as she goes to gather a few books. And after you guys have saved her from following, she's like, "Thank you so much." She's like, "That's so kind." She's like, "You're such nice people." She's like, "And we're only just going to meet." Hi, my name's Mugen. It's a pleasure to meet you. And she looks at you, Jerk, who just kind of say the books out of her hand.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure
as
to
well.
meet you.
Jerk.
I'm sorry. I'm not a jerk.
No, that's my name.
Your name is Jerk?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that means a funny thing in a bunch of different languages.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh, do you know what it means in Elvish? And she goes and starts wandering over to a bookshelf to go look. She's like, it's really fascinating. The Elvish language has so many intricacies.
Would you like to meet the rest of the party? Your other visitors?
Oh, right. Sorry. And it's nice to meet you. Oh, are you hurt? And she looks down at you, Sparklegem.
We'll kind of just like rub the back of her head because I'm sure her head hit somewhere. And she's gonna be like, yeah, I guess I'm just not as good at that as I used to be.
Oh, if you hit your head, I have some healing salve down in my lab that might be able to help you out with that. I mean, I feel like that's, a head injury is something you should really be concerned about. You know?
Where is Sparklegem at right now? She
We'll
like
get to
landed
that
right
when we
next
get
to
down
her.
to the bottom
Yeah.
of the staircase.
Here, we'll like this is where the ladder was.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say as they're talking, I will make my way down and just like cure wounds her.
Oh, okay.
Just I saw you. I saw
You
you.
got to roll for the.
Yeah. You get 1d8 plus 3. 7 points of healing. Didn't you? You got 6 bludgeoning, so you're back up to full.
She looks at you. She goes, "Oh, that's so nice of you. Look at you helping out. What's your name?"
Oh, I'm Taliesin. Actually, Aldar sent me and my friends here to meet you, and I will pull out the newly acquired badge. He said that you had some form of fast travel that he would like to show us, and also possibly some more knowledge on things going on. But yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can definitely help you out with that. I mean, I assumed that you guys are Harpers because otherwise the cloaks would have attacked you, and I would have been alerted. The chamber would have shut down. All sorts of things would have happened. So
That's good to know.
But yeah, here, let's chat and meet each other. Hello up there. Yeah, come on down. I have some tea downstairs. And as you guys look downstairs, 3 levels below where Mugen was on it, there's a chamber that essentially has a study in it. It has a large round table with several chairs around it. The table is filled with books. It's there's a larger kind of fancy recliner chair that is next to the fire, next to a hearth that's there on this bottom floor. You notice there's a doorway that's at the bottom too, and she invites you all in to come and sit down. She's like, "Yeah, I, I like I said, I assume you're Harper's, and you just caught me in the middle of some studying. I've been putting in all my efforts to figure out what's going on with all these giants I've been hearing about."
Can I do an insight check to see if that's literally all she does is study?
Yeah, you do insight check to see if she's, I guess, being kind of, does she study? Does it look like all she does
No,
is
I,
study?
I
Do I
understand
get
that
the
she
sense of
does
it?
study. I want to see if she's just being modest and saying like, "I'm just putting in some effort to study," and like that's all you do. And I got a nat 20.
Yeah. So like as you guys like come downstairs, you notice that like a lot of the bookshelves as you're kind of walking around the spiral place, and there's these bookshelves. There's different art and artifacts, and you're passing like busts of figures, historical figures, and different like odds and ends that you don't really kind of like make out. Uh, a, a, a like a geode that seems to be sitting inside a spherical orb floating, and there's a little like enclosure growing inside, and upon closer inspection there's like a tiny tree village and things in it, and you can see little tiny like insect people running around. It's just like all sorts of weird artifacts. You're starting to get the idea that there's a lot of things here in the tower. But as you go downstairs on that table, you notice, and it really obvious to you, Taliesin, that she spends all of her time studying here in the library. There are just piles of books on this table with very little place for a person to be. There's stacks of books on the chairs that are around, and you notice a lot of like kind of empty sections of the shelves, and a lot of them just kind of been brought in piles down here as she kind of goes through them. It actually becomes difficult to kind of move around when you get down to the study section of where things are. And she's as she's got the pile of books that she had taken half of, and she picked up half of it, put it in Jerk's hands, picked up the other half while I walked downstairs. She puts it into another pile and says, "Come on, take a seat and join me, and we can talk." And I'm sure you are looking for information on our giant situation. I mean, I can't imagine why anyone else would come here to Neverwinter right now.
I would follow her down and sit down. Is I don't know if everyone else is doing that.
Are there enough seats for all of us?
There are enough chairs, but they are filled with books. You'll have to move books out of them in order to sit.
Chance is
Then
fine sitting on the floor next to the fireplace.
Okay. So everybody sit down, hang out, find a chamber
uh,
against the wall, try
I,
and
I
sneak
think
around. I don't know what you're doing.
Jerk's
think
gonna
I'll
lean against the wall. Just gotta pay attention.
yeah, I think I'll stand. I don't.
Okay. You
If
guys
I
kind
move
of
something, I get the feeling if I move something, they will never find it again.
so you guys gonna get the sense that she's like invites you to sit at the table. It's a kind gesture. There's not really anywhere to sit, and even if you sat at the table, it'd probably be difficult to see each other with the stacks of books everywhere. So you instead kind of gather around towards the fireplace. There's a bit of an open space on the floor there where you can all kind of stand around and talk.
Okay.
And she's like, "Well, I think I've caught all of your names except for our dear uh, brother of Bahamut, and our young cat man."
I am Godwald, a And if I may, what is this place?
Oh, this is the hidden library. It's sorry, that might not have enough information. It's a place where uh, I gather books and information to study. I inherited this tower from my master, and I'll pass this on to one of my students when the time comes. It's a collection of
And
knowledge across Faerun.
so, have you read all of these?
I haven't. I don't know if I've read every single book here. I certainly haven't. I haven't lived that long. I've lived a long time, but I haven't lived this long. I haven't lived long enough to read every single book here. Although I did bring them in, and I have cataloged every book. But it's a great place to study, and that's one of my favorite things to do.
Pretty amazing collection you have.
Thank you. Do you have a favorite topic? I could point you in the right direction.
Well, what do you know of the giants and what's going on?
Oh, well, I've been talking to Aldar. He shared with me some of the information that giants have been active out and about in the north again. Um, a bit about their caste being dispersed, and when this came up with the information about the dragon being sighted recently, I decided these were too many coincidences. So I started looking into everything and doing as much studying as I can on the topic. I could tell you that the giants and dragons have been at war for millennia. They've hated each other for so long. I doubt any of them, except for Bahamut himself and perhaps his sister Tiamat, trapped in the nine hells, know exactly what caused it all at the beginning. But with their hate running so deep and spanning so many, many years, when we have the appearance of some dragons and the activity of giants, it's concerning that another war is brewing between them.
So you're saying that the appearance of this dragon is a connection. It's connected to why the giants are now doing what they are doing. We were told that the queen of the giants may have gone off, and the king had left his throne in search of her, and that had um, basically disrupted their caste system. Could it be that dragons are somehow connected to this? And
Maybe, maybe they're
Absolutely.
capitalizing on it.
In fact, it was that piece of information that was sent along that actually helped me start to understand some of the things we were seeing here. You see, the way I'm thinking about this, if the giants' caste system is broken, this leaves them vulnerable to the dragons. And if and for something like this to happen, and for the giants to become vulnerable like this, the first enemy that their first enemy seems to be, what I'm using the Arkham Razor to determine that the most likely enemy is probably the enemy who's caused this. Think about it. You have the giants collecting, and she goes through the fragments of Vodinod, and she like moves a pile of books and knocks one pile over. She's like, "Oh, whoops!" She grabs a book. She's like, kind of looks at the pile, and she's like, "Yeah." So right here in the history of and something, and you can't catch. She's like, it tells about what the Vodinod fragments are. So the Vodinod was God, the word always escapes me. Was a massive mechanism created by the giants in order to fight dragons. This construct was originally forged by them in a battle that they had with the giants long, long ago. Apparently, it was extremely effective until it came up against an opponent that even it couldn't destroy. Tiamat herself came and wiped it off the planet after it had killed many dragons.
So with that,
If we put it together with the fact that fire giants are trying to find it, they probably assume that the dragons are responsible for this as well.
yeah, with her mentioning of the construct and like that, they did not seem. What we had encountered some fire giants and were fortunate enough to stop them and recover what looked to be a piece of this construct. The most concerning thing about this was that they did not necessarily seem to be concerned with us at all. There was something bigger going on. So,
With the giants, you mean?
yeah, the giants did not seem concerned with us small folk. So it seems as though your theory may be correct. They're more concerned about a bigger foe.
I mean, it would make sense with the odd circumstances surrounding the disappearance, the queen's death or disappearance that we heard about. I mean, think about what kind of creature would have to be powerful enough in order to dispose of the giant's queen, that Storm King's queen. That's a massive amount of power. It'd have to be an incredible being, and dragons are they're top up the list. I'm trying to find more books and do more studying about where other fragments may have fallen. I'm hoping that in one of the tales of their battle, or what this construct was created, there might be some telling of debris landing on certain towns or hitting things. It seemed almost as if it was. I mean, considering the location of the fragments you found, either these fragments fell on civilizations, or for some reason civilizations sprung up around them. So that's a really interesting thing. And she starts getting into like this like
Maybe
really like
yeah.
extended idea of like this debate that she's clearly been having with herself about whether or not the fragments fell on a town or the towns appeared in places where the fragments were.
Can
And they
I
were drawn to
try
the magic.
to? I want to try to like bring her back to it by like saying something in Elvish, just being like to like she no like and just being like, I think that you're right, and like if you could like let's speak more about this, but in like Elvish to like kind of like break up the conversation in common, just so it like grabs her attention more, and then just be like, so we know about Nightstone and the giant attacks there, and we know about Tribor because we were a part of that. Though we don't know anything more about where these things are, we do know that they have some sort of dowsing rod mechanism that is able to find these pieces. And I had given that to Durathra in hopes that she was able to somehow pass this device along to see if we could determine where these things are. It could be possible, though, that the magic of this construct somehow drew people to it. And that's why civilizations seem to have grown around them.
Oh man, I know. I heard about that. I think it was called the Rod of Vodadad. The giants had dropped it. I think that was the information that came through from Darren.
They dropped it when we killed them. Yes.
Man, I'd love to get my hands on that thing. Like, I might be able to enchant it with magic to help me direct me to the book that contains the information for where the other parts are.
If
around, if I had that, I might be able to find it without having to go to the locations. I might be able to try and create a map with some arcane magic, and she starts getting this like long description of things that she could do if she had the Rod of Vodunod. As she's kind of rambling through it, you pick out the fact that like she might be able to do something with it if she had it.
Yeah, I would look to Jerk and be like, well, it's with the Zentrum now. Do you know any way that we could get her in touch with them?
We could talk to a contact at the bar, but I don't
Well,
know. I don't. They're looking into it right now as well. So, I think it'll be up to the two organizations once.
Wasn't the Rod back with Darathra?
It's with yeah. Well, so they bought it and then I thought they gave it to Darathra, right?
They bought the Rod of. They bought the fragment, the giant.
Yeah, we have the
like,
fragment.
shoulder blade.
Yeah.
Fragment. They brought that. They gave that to the Zentrum. Came in and bought it from the city.
Piece of the construct.
The Rod staff is with
Darathra.
Darathra. Yeah.
Okay. So I would yeah, because I asked her to try to move it out west to see if we could like detect more. So I would tell her, actually, Darathra has this. I can speak with Aldar to see if we can move it out this way, unless you are able to directly communicate with her. I don't know.
Oh, no, I communicate with. See, I communicate with Aldar, who communicates with Darren, who communicates with Darathra. Like we have a set of sending stones. It's sort of a network, you could call it, of people who know each other, and the way that this intertwines is how we communicate. So, I mean, I could communicate word along to Aldar to communicate word along to Darren to communicate along to Darathra.
I would say Darathra has the rod. So if you think that you can do something with it, I would pass that message along. I could do the same, but I feel like it would have a little bit more weight if you were doing it.
Well, I certainly can't leave the library. I have too many things to do. I couldn't go and get it myself, even if I asked Darathra about it. It's kind of an important thing. Maybe they can hire someone to carry it if we can get it. Might be a chance. I might be able to find the information on my own beforehand. It's just a matter of getting into the library and really, spending some time with the books that I have.
Sure. I mean, I had asked her to hire people to move it out towards this direction, so it may already be on the road heading towards Neverwinter. So, if we can get to Neverwinter, I believe Aldar may be able to get it to you.
Well, it would be very helpful if it could. Man, if we can find all of the pieces of this construct and either deliver them to the giants or perhaps even use it for ourselves in order to, fend off the giants or the dragons, that would be a huge boon to the city, and probably the Sword Coast, because there's, and I hate to say this, but I believe there's definitely a war coming. Some tragedy will soon befall Faerun.
Well,
you see, there's been a lot of elf children born recently. And, I mean, do you as a half-elf know what that means? And she kind of, tilts her head, looks at you, suddenly realizing, as a half-elf, she's not sure if you understand
I know that
full-blood elf culture.
Elf. I probably would, because I grew up with my mother and didn't know my father really, who was the human. So, I hear you laughing, Oz. What the heck, man? I wrote a whole backstory, man. It's pretty good.
It sounds very tragic.
It's not, actually.
It's pretty good. I read it.
My mom lives a long time, and so do I, and my dad didn't.
That counts as tragic.
But he just lived,
I mean, he lived his life as was expected. Human. If he dies of old age, is that tragic? I mean, I suppose it could be.
So I got lost in what I was saying.
That's all right.
I got lost in
Well,
the.
yeah. So do you know? So do you know what it means when
Oh, that's what it was.
a lot of elf children have been born? It's so rare, and for so many to
I know it's rare for that to happen. Can I roll history to see if I would know?
Yeah,
And
sure.
have you tell me because I can't
Yeah.
remember what it would be.
She's going to tell you if you don't know
But I
anyways. But
know
yeah,
it's
roll the history check. And anybody else who wants to roll a history check about elves if they feel like they might know things about
Oh,
elves.
what type of elves?
High elves, just elves,
high
really.
elves.
Just elves and
Because wood elves are like
full blood elves.
Yeah, wood elves
Yeah,
are
they are.
Fae run, whereas like high elves are from like the Fae. But
Right.
I got an 11, so I probably don't really know a whole lot.
Over 20.
So history buff over here in the corner pulls up an actually moment. Doesn't have glasses. Does Godwald have glasses? If he did, he would push them up in the brow.
No, they would be broken by now.
And kind of spot out like you Godwald, you'd be like, doesn't that mean that a lot of elf souls are returning to Faerun from the Fae realm? Like that means that a lot of them in. Maybe not quite understanding why that's bad, but you totally know that it's really rare for elf children to be born in the first place. And for she's mentioning like there's been 100 elf children born recently, like that's a crazy amount. And so you know all that's odd, and then she kind of comes in to explain why. She's like, basically elves are born into the world from the Fae to elven parents, and after our lives are finished, we return to the Fae realm. If our race rarely having children, if there is ever a time where we find many of them are being born, then there's a really good chance that within that decade, many elves will die, because our god has decided that we need more elves to be in Faerun. It's almost like a sign from Corellin himself
Are you speaking
that
of
the world needs more elves.
The Eladrin of the Fae send over their souls to become elves.
Full-blooded elves, yep.
Yeah.
So we reincarnate, and Corellin really, gives us what we really want is to be in our heaven with. And if many of us are being sent back to Earth, it's because he feels like there needs to be a lot of us here. With all these other events happening, the caste system of the giants being destroyed, appearance of new dragons so close to a humanoid establishment, my fear is great that there is a tragedy coming where many elves will die. And you see she gets, for the first time, changing from very bubbly and cheery and joyous to a bit wistful. It impacts her pretty hard to think about a lot of elves dying, and also, as you kind of understand now, this is sort of the tragedy of many elves being born, because it means many elves were just taken out of heaven to be reincarnated. So it's tragedy all around for the elves.
That I don't really have anything to say to that. It's just very
Sad.
Noticing the quiet in the room, she immediately flips and changes back to being sure. Oh my goodness! So you guys are probably going to need to know how to use the teleportation circles and how to move around and where they go. Here, I'd like to share something with you. And she then goes sifting through piles of books and rolled up pieces of paper, like undoing pieces of string to roll them out and find. She's like, oh, it's not this. It's not this. She goes through and where is it? Where are you? Here it is. Gives you this. And she holds this up. She goes, this is the Harper's Teleportation Network. We have circles in Mirabar, Everland, Yartar, Loudwater, Waterdeep, and of course, the one you just used here in Neverwinter. We can travel between any of these places as long as the mages necessary to conduct the ritual are at each one. I've enhanced my power to conduct this ritual alone by using an artifact in the teleportation room. So if you need to go anywhere, you'll want to come here, and I will be able to send you to any of these other locations.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna need you to repeat all of those locations. I've got Neverwinter and Mirabar.
It's on the
Okay.
map.
Yeah, it's on the little
Oh,
piece.
I don't. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's Everlund, Everlund. That's where one circle is. There is a circle. There is a circle in Yartar, Yartar. There is a circle in Loudwater, Loud water, Water, and one in Waterdeep, Waterdeep.
I still water. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I
okay.
didn't.
So, what did she say about we would need to come back here so that she could send us somewhere, or?
Yeah, just come right back here to me, and I'll be able to send you to any of these places that you need to go. I can operate the teleportation circle for you.
So, if we are in Everland and we need to go somewhere else, we can't do that. We have to come back to Neverwinter for her to send us to a different place.
Well, they're all interconnected. The wizards that run them just need to be there.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Are there people at these other locations that can also send us to a different location?
Yep, that's how it works.
And are they all Harpers?
Yes, this is the Harper Teleportation Network.
Okay.
And does it cost you anything to do that?
Me? No. I have the magic. I'm quite skilled. It's a matter of effort and desire. In the other circles, that might be a different situation. I mean, there are different places, and I can't speak for all of them. I could tell you a few things about some of the people and some of the different locations.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that would be helpful. Anybody else?
Please.
Sure. So, let's see. All I can remember about right now are the names of the dynasty of kings that led to our current Storm King in the Giants realm. But my friends in the Harpers, right? There in Everland, there's a gentleman named Crowan. I think he and his apprentice run the circle there. Might have another one. I can't remember all their names. In Loudwater, let's see. Well, I suppose I should tell you. So, in the Everland Circle is going to be located. It's inside a chamber in the Moongleam Tower in Everland. And the name and the mage, the mage's name there is Crowan. I can't remember his apprentice's name. He might even have a second apprentice. Who knows how many apprentice mages have these days. In Loudwater, the circle is located in a cellar underneath a tavern called the Smiling something. But Revel is the mage's name there. He'll be the one waiting for you if you teleport to Loudwater. In Mirabar, the Harper's teleportation circle's not exactly kosher. That's the druidic word. They don't really approve. So we have in a stable loft hidden there, and I think the attendant pretends to be one of the stable hands. To be the stable hand. I can't remember their name. I think it's like Bonfire or Bronzefire. It's Bronzefire. It's the mage there. Obviously. Oh, I haven't introduced myself. Hi, my name's Mugen. I'm Mugen Genkai. I'm the resident mage here at the Hidden Library in Neverwinter. Our location is a secret, so please don't tell anyone.
I don't even know how I got here, so
I have no idea where exactly in Neverwinter this is.
When I let you out, you'll know, and I'll talk about that then. In the Waterdeep Circle, let's see. That's located in the City of the Dead in Waterdeep.
I nudge Godwell and sounds like your kind of city.
The City of the Dead is an elaborate graveyard that they have in the Waterdeep. I don't even. I think it's a mage, or maybe it's a ghost who runs it, or maybe the mage operates with some of the ghosts in the.
Is it a lich?
In the desert? I mean, I don't know. Their name's Thestral. I met them once. They seemed a little obsessed with the dead and decaying things. Really wasn't. She didn't seem too pleasant. Did I forget anything?
Yartar?
Oh, the Yartar Circle. Let's see. In Yartar, oh man, I didn't even know that he's a mage. Just remember him being really grumpy. His name was Kolbaz. He wasn't nice. So,
all right.
like anything.
Well,
so are all these teleportation sites libraries like this one?
No.
Oh no, they're entirely different locations. Like I said, the one in Everland is just in the cellar of a tavern. We like to keep them secret, the locations secret, the people secret, and what we have to ourselves. It helps protect the organization. There's not a lot of people who feel so strongly about protecting the realm, and there's a lot of people out there who are more interested in gaining what they can for themselves. So
a lot of people would use our cause as a way to turn people against us. Twist it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm really glad to meet you all. I should have said welcome to my home before I ever presented you. Sorry I was busy when you came in. I've got so much studying to do. I really want to crack this case, solve the mystery of why these giants are going crazy and what it means when they do. It's so fascinating. Do you know this has only happened one other time in the history of the giants? Otherwise, they've always lived by this caste system?
I did not know that.
What happened then?
I think it was the death of one of their kings and a dispute over who would take the throne. Seems like this is what it's building up to be this time around.
while you're researching this stuff, if you find a way to disable or defeat the golem that the giants created, if you could pass that along to us, that would probably help us out in case something goes sideways with that as well.
Oh yeah, I am so looking for things that information on the Vodnod construct. It's so fascinating. It had the power to take on multiple adult dragons, like at the same time. It's completely unbelievable. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It must have been, I mean, where did the source of arcane power come from? What did the giants harness in order to make this thing work? And she just starts rambling again about like how impossible the Vodnod construct is.
I would say something in Elvish again to try to like snap her out of it. Be like,
When you speak in Elvish, she will just start speaking back to you in Elvish. She doesn't really think about it. She just starts responding in the same language.
but she's like still rambling to me in Elvish.
Yeah, just a bit. Just
I'm trying to like break
and
up
so
the
yeah,
conversation.
she's really trying.
I'm essentially trying to break up the conversation with a different language to be like, hey, no, don't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
off on a tangent. So
But
that
yeah,
we can like try to stay focused on what we're talking about.
just kind of brings her back. She's like, well, okay. She's like, so I can definitely help you with, if you need to travel to any of these cities, come back here, and if I'm here, I'll be here to teleport you. I don't leave very often, but so I should probably be here. I mean, I heard about that Vodnod fragment, and I just had to get out, go check it out, see it for myself.
So, how do we get here? Because we were just teleported here. We don't actually know where we are.
Oh, right. So you're actually so I mean, since you're all Harpers and Aldar has approved all of you coming, I'll let you know you're actually in the cloak tower in Neverwinter. And Jerk, as the name is said, and Godwald, as that name is said, you have an idea of where you have a remembrance of where the cloak tower was. So I put it up on the top.
I see it.
On the top map. You guys kind of remember where that is. Jerk kind of snapping up to your mind that you've been teleported to the other side of the city instantaneously by drinking something.
Dang it. Our room is all the way back on the other side of the city. Are you able to teleport us back to that inn? To the Rumor Earth Inn?
Oh, sorry. That's kind of like part of the way that Aldar helps keep the secret of the location, right? Like, if the only people who can find out where it is have to go through him, and they have to do this specific thing to get here, well, that's how it is. I only have the magic to teleport you from one circle to another. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But could
was worth
probably. I think I might be able to give you a little bit of a send up for the next 8 hours if it would help you move faster. And she waves her hand in the air. You notice that a brooch on her neck starts glowing and speaks a few command words, and you all feel particularly light-footed.
She cast haste on us.
Where you feel like you can move much quicker. And she goes, okay. She's like, but yeah, I mean, is there anything else that I can help you guys with? I mean, I'm going to keep researching, the dragons and the giants, and I think it's so fascinating. So, please come back whenever and, ask me about it, or,
I feel like we should.
Ask Eldar, and maybe he can ask me.
I feel like we should do something for you in return for all of this. What's your favorite kind of tea?
Oh, well, that's so kind of you to notice that I drink tea, and you do actually see that she has the kettle in front of the fire there. And I'm trying to find it. My favorite tea. My favorite tea is smoky, fruity, and spicy. Based loosely off of like a mulled wine, hibiscus,
Yes.
smoky lapsing souchong, traditional mulling spices, and cracked white pepper. It kind of creates this really unique experience. Oh,
Get
it's so good.
Get that advertisement in our show.
From what I understand, that blend might be made named after me.
That's really weird, right? I mean, we did meet the guy who makes that tea. He seemed to really like our friend here.
All right, then.
You know someone who makes this? That'd be amazing. Yeah, if you bring me any, I'd be very happy. That would be a great gift. I am a big fan. I am a tea drinker. I'd never imbibe alcohol. I am a tea woman through and through.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'd be amazing. I mean, I'm just here to help. You know, that's why I'm here, and that's why I keep the circle operating. Is because I want to protect the land that I live in and the people of this land. They're although they might not be my family from the same mother or even the same species, you know, I feel like they're all family to me. And so anyone like yourselves who is willing to put their lives on the line to protect the land and its people, I'm glad to do what I can. But here, if that's it, let me show you guys out. And so, as you guys have already walked 6 floors down through a library, a 5-floor library, and the 6th floor being where the teleportation circle is on the top, she continues walking you down. The spirals kind of go around. For a while, you probably go down several flights of stairs. And after several flights of stairs, you only pass one locked door. But then the stairs, probably you would guesstimate it's been a few more floors. You walk down to like three or four. You walk down to another chamber that opens up, and this is where Mugen's alchemy lab is located, and the source of the strange sound that you've all been hearing, a stranger and closer. These kinds of weird tings, beeps, whirs, and whistles that are going on here in her tower. It seems to be spawned by a variety of very active, strange objects that you find in this room. It's filled with, test tubes, little gnome clockwork machines, a variety of like pages with incoherent languages written out on them, a couple candles burning in a variety of colors of flames and things, just like it's pure chaos. And she just leads you on past it, continue on going down. It's like, right this way, we'll get you down. Goes down another floor or two. At this point, you're kind of guesstimating like 8 floors that you've been through. You come out down to what is a common room. It's like almost a great hall. It extends up probably 3 floors in the space of it as the stairwell comes down to this massive, gigantic marbled fireplace that like leads up the whole length of the wall through the stairs. So you're actually like passing by like open sections of this piece as you're going down and around the stairs. Leads out into a greeting in a great room with a fairly large front door. Mugen goes and pulls her hands down as if she were pulling on a chain that didn't exist, and the door goes and opens up, and you see a more familiar zone of kind of the area out where the cloak tower would be. And as the door is open, she goes, I probably should have told you before I let the door out, but my tower is hidden from the normal eye, and when you exit, in addition to the swift movement spell that I've put on you, invisibility will be cast on you, so that no one will see you leaving. I'm trying to keep things on the down low.
So if we need to come back and contact you again, we should go to the rumored hearth in and be brought here, not come directly here.
Yes.
Perfect.
Unless you have some form of invisibility that you could use to get here. I'm just trying to not let people know. I mean, ever since the catastrophe that happened when Mount Hotno exploded, it appeared as if the tower was broken and destroyed, and the city has kind of like left it as a monument. They think that it's still dilapidated and dead and destroyed. You'll actually kind of see for yourselves the illusory magic that's been placed on the building. That I placed in the building. I've been here for hundreds of years. And so, she kind of like gestures out. She goes, "I wish you all good luck. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. You know how to contact me, and you know how to come back here."
Yes. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for everything.
As you guys exit out of the building, you kind of get the little bit of the feeling of the magic, but as you step out, you can't see each other. As you exit through the door and it closes behind you, if you turn around, suddenly the gate looks dilapidated and broken, as if half of both of the doors is missing, like through some kind of great amount of force pushed through and demolished them. As you look in, it just seems like to be fragments of a tower that stands only 3 stories tall. It's massive and wide, but it's really not as tall. The top of it seems to like have been broken off, and you kind of now see the effects of the illusory magic that is enchanting the place, keeping it appearing to be as if it were still destroyed. And since we got a really tired Sparklegem, and that's probably a decent place to end for the evening, I think that's a good spot.
Right on.
Yep.
Sure.
Good night, internet.
Can we say that we get back to our room so that we can do like a long rest or whatever?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll start the next session in the Rumored Hearth in the morning. You guys are able to travel back there with no easy, and quickly, and even more quickly with Jerk leading. Well, and for the first hour, it's actually kind of awkward because you're all invisible. So, but you can follow the paths that you need to know and get there pretty quickly.
Perfect.
Sweet.
All right.
Cool.
Good night, internet. Again.
Bye.
Bye. I do declare goodbye.